chat. You still streaming, Ollie? Yo, what's up?
I am here.
Now.
For now.
Yo, what's up, man? Hi. Forgot to have it muted like usual, so. Alright. Maddie, you can't hear me, right?
Yeah.
Cool beans.
I like trains.
Indeed. You are ready for party? Well, unfortunately, there's not going to be a party. It's just going to be more Ace Attorney. Heyo, what's up?
Drugs?
It's drugs. Then, that's a party. It's Ace Attorney. What is up? I am Emerald Fishy. And that one on the super cool sound effects DJ, VJ, Jay, Miss Maddie. Say hi.
I'm here to ruin everything.
That works for me. We're playing more Ace Attorney. I have... Oh no, that's not the one.
So yeah, we're in prison.
Oh no, time for prison break. It's the second cell I've been in. This cell. We're off to a rosy start. All the evidence has been taken from me. The only thing I have left is K's Yatagarasu badge. Worried about K. Sure, right? Culprit is me. I remember looking down. The person in the red raincoat. Mr. Edgeworth, it was me. Culprit was me all along. Visitor.
What happened?
What happened? Someone by the name of Dick Gumshoe. You turn him down? No. It'll be hard to face him, though. Wait there. He's not going to stay and keep watch. Pardon me. Huh? Judge Courtney? Hush. Please, have a seat. Why are you here? I was told the detective had come. If I didn't instruct them to tell you that, you wouldn't be sitting here right now. Can't think of anything she'd need from me at this point. Just trying to figure out what she wants. Your visitation rights have been restricted to begin with. It's as if I'm some monstrous criminal. I suppose my credibility is at rock bottom. But of course, your friends have fared a little better now. That lawyer and that girl are both quite worked up. Mr. Shields and Emma. Well, I saw them. They were giving one of the guards quite an earful. What? You don't mean... Be grateful. The goddess of law has been quite busy. They were spared punishment. It certainly seems like you have plenty of time for small talk. Ah, yes. Prosecutor Von Karma is presently continuing the investigation. You were worried about them, right? Guess she saw right through me. The hell is her deal? Let's cut to the chase. Exactly what are you planning? I am not planning anything. There's merely a question I wish to ask. You're asking me? Yes, of course. Who else is here? Objectively speaking, you're a clever individual. You have a sharp mind. As a prosecutor, you are highly talented and capable. Are you being ironic? Your sarcasm falls short.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
being completely sincere, and that is why I cannot understand. Take this case, for example. You're up against the PIC. There's no chance for you to come out on top. Even a child can understand, and yet you...
Perhaps my younger self would not have done something so reckless. The me from before had power. That's why I thought justice was on my side. Just like you right now. However, because of a certain man, my self-centered sense of justice was broken down. Ever since, I began to see people in a different light. I'm able to serve as a prosecutor only because of the support of the people around me. People like Detective Gumshoe and all the investigators, and Kay as well. Honestly, I'm even surprised at how much I've changed.
I see. Is that how it is? I've come to understand you a little more.
Understand me? Not likely. Someone like you who forces her own sense of justice onto others could never understand.
I wonder about that. Is that what you think? If I could say one thing, it would be that this conversation has been very interesting. That is all. Our conversation is coming to an end, however. I have one last thing to tell you. The date of your hearing has been set. I came here today to inform you. Today, in the PIC meeting room, may you humbly accept your fate.
If that's all you wanted to say, couldn't you have just sent a messenger?
The holy words of the goddess of law simply cannot be entrusted to others. With that, Mr. Edgeworth, I bid you farewell. I'll be seeing you again.
Whoa, hi.
Hi.
Quite the entrance you made.
I was hoping to make one.
Drugs?
Drugs. I still have no real idea what her actual deal is. Whether she's part of the circle or what. Oh shit, an actual cell thing. Oh man. How am I gonna do it? Am I gonna get some ketchup and squirt it under me as I lay down? Am I gonna like twirl around a whole bunch and then puke?
Your head's gonna spin, you'll speak Latin, and then you'll throw up. I don't know what's going on.
I'm in jail.
You said spin and puke. Oh. Time to bust out.
Thick bars placed securely on. Thick shaft. Reminds me, I watched a movie the other day.
Busting out.
Busting out. Plan to escape prison by filling
Ace
down
Attorney. Escape from jail.
Of course I wouldn't do such a thing. I don't even have a file. Even if I had one, I still wouldn't do it. Nah, this is a weird part where the law cleric. Currently out of toilet paper. Please be prepared if you wish to use the toilet. What does it mean by be prepared?
Oh, you know.
Dining menu sitting on the desk.
It's gonna explode.
Seems I can get food delivered if I pay for it. Let's see. Moldy white bread lunch set. Switch to moldy whole wheat for an extra $1. oatmeal and grits set meal. For limited time, get gruel at no extra cost. Thank goodness I'm not hungry right now. I mustn't neglect my personal appearance just because I'm in a holding cell. Prosecutor or not, this is my personal duty. Collar's slightly bent. No, well-groomed appearance reflects a well-groomed mind. From here on, I'll need to focus myself more than ever. This guy, not even losing his edge, even in the dice and slice game. Roll the dice and decide your daily menu.
He is Edgeworth.
Dice and Slice game has been cancelled due to the warden's arrest. We sincerely apologize to everyone who was looking forward to it. So we need to apologize for canceling such a silly game. Another visitor?
Dice and Slice. Is that just fucking this universe's Dungeons and Dragons or something?
Sure.
Or is it where you roll dice and figure out if someone gets stabbed?
Sure. Seems
Or
real right.
shanked, I guess.
I'm relieved for now.
You know, this is kind of touching.
So weird. You look a little down, Kay. Please cheer up. You didn't do anything wrong, I guarantee it.
Please just accept it. I'm a murderer.
It's not true. Why don't you believe in yourself?
Should I believe in? There's nothing.
There's nothing to believe in. That's not true. Before you lost your
Believe in
memories,
me.
You literally jumped to my life. As a result, your words and actions have become engraved in my memory. It's the mark you left behind. How can you call that nothing? I believe in your innocence. That's why you must believe in yourself as well. Damn close to believe in the me who believes in you.
With all the misfortune I brought upon you, if you can, please forget it all. Your memories of Kay Faraday.
Okay.
You know, this takes me back. My youth, I too was gallant.
This is the kind of justice the PIC seeks.
Justice, huh? I wonder.
Delicious justice.
Why is he pushing things forward so forcefully? It seems too unnatural. Is there a hidden agenda? There's no time. It's all or nothing now.
I must take my leave.
Hold it! No matter how you look at it, Kay's arrest was unnatural. There must be something behind it. Ooh.
I think Arson Man did it.
I'm a busy man, you know. Kind of a big deal, you see. Trust this won't take up too much of my time.
To make it out of this situation, I must break through his defenses. There are plenty of things I want to ask, but my time is limited. I'll ask about why he rushed the arrest. I have no intention of letting him push me around. I'll overcome this situation. Why did you rush her arrest? I'd like a clear explanation.
Explanation? What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb with me. You clearly do not follow proper procedures.
Okay. You should pipe down a bit. Do you know the position you're in? Suppose we let the criminal escape. What do you think would happen?
What will happen?
I would be made to take responsibility, you see. I do hope you understand. Just take my advice and stay out of this if you know what's good for you.
I refuse. Kay is innocent.
You know, so pitiful. Brings me to tears. Why don't you just give up? Things were finally going well.
Things are going well, you say? It's a strange way to put it. Almost sounds as if you personally wanted Kay to be arrested. Far more than necessary. Haven't you lost your impartiality?
You think so? That certainly wasn't my intention, you see. Edgeworth, my boy, you're reading too much into this.
I skillfully avoided the issue. I still have some serious doubts about Kay's arrest. I'll ask him if the investigation was sufficient.
Alright, so far so good.
It's the only way to break through this situation. How much time was spent on the investigation?
You know, I wonder about that. I don't really remember, you see.
There's no way I could accept such a careless answer.
Like I said, I don't remember. My memory's not as sharp as it used to be, you see. Sometimes I even forget my own son's name.
I don't care about your idiot son. I want your answer regarding the investigation.
Yes, he really is an idiot, even though I don't remember raising him like that.
It's no end to
Who's
this.
dumber, the one who raised him or you?
Let's try another line of attack.
I don't know. Don't listen to me.
It's fine. It's hard to say the investigation was sufficient. The arrest, was it under your authority?
My. Do I really look that important?
Prosecutorial Investigation Committee Chairman. It's quite a prominent title. Not that I care much for it.
That was rather blunt. I'm so shocked. I could cry.
I'm sorry. Flattery was never my forte.
If you keep talking like that towards me, you'll never get your prosecutor's badge back, you know.
Too passive. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that that wasn't a thing. Beat him, Fishy. Thanks, Nem. I don't like this guy either, for the record. Let me make this clear right now. I do not live for the sake of my badge. Status means nothing to me. Do you understand?
The only thing matters to him is the law.
Young, so young.
Actually, even that doesn't really matter to him. He only cares about
Justice.
That's the one.
What you're saying right now, it's far too naive, you see.
The look in his eyes has changed. He might respond differently to some of my questions now. This is my chance.
Oh, okay. Well, aren't you an impertinent one? Even someone like me is starting to get annoyed.
What a coincidence. I feel the same way. Answer me. Is the investigation sufficient?
Young folks always live life the fast lane. That's why I live to bully him. You'll regret this soon enough.
Not quite.
His tone might have changed. I'm not entirely certain.
Ridiculous. I was just thinking about my next strategy. On how to extract information from a weepy old man.
You should show some remorse, you know. Don't you get it? I hold your fate in my hands. In any case, even if you obtain some information, there's nothing you can do. Just give up already.
I refuse.
Mind if I ask why?
Simple. Truth is fading away. That's all there is to it.
I see. I'm starting to understand what kind of person you are. You know, it's all useless. It's enough to make me cry. Give it up. That girl's guilt has already been decided.
That's
He's
true,
really fond of calling shit useless.
right? Dameda, Zenzen, Dameda. The way you said that almost sounds like it was decided
This
from...
Battler's endearing though.
Right.
This guy is like, I just want. Why does he have such extreme arson stuff?
Everything is progressing as if Whoa, that was a slip. Kay's guilt was predetermined.
Today's day.
Gay's kilts. Whoops. Wasn't Kay's arrest planned from the start?
Oh, I found more screen.
Interesting theory. But I don't have time to indulge in your flights of fancy, you know. Why don't we put an end to this silly conversation?
Curse. He's trying to get away. Before that, I've got to find out if the arrest was lawful. still very faint, but I'm beginning to see the path. Can't let this opportunity slip by. Still something I want to ask you.
I've grown weary of our little tete-a-tete. Please keep it short.
Who was the one who made the decision to arrest her?
Well, can't say I remember. Growing old's a terrible thing, you say. My memory's not what it used to be, you know.
I don't have enough clues to proceed with this line of questioning. I'm trying to lower an attack. Kay is not the culprit.
My, that's a rather bold claim, you know. Anyone can shout objections at the top of their lungs, you see. Mr. Former Prodigy Prosecutor.
Damn. Alright then, I'll just have to ask the other question. If I put together what you have told me up until now, I cannot help but say that there is no basis for Kay's arrest.
Yeah, I understand, you see. But you know, it doesn't really matter either way. You can't overturn it.
How irresponsible. Do you still claim to be a man of the law?
My, those are some harsh words, you know. You know, you're starting to make me a little angry. See, to be honest, I really can't answer all your questions, you know. That's just the position I'm in, you see. I'm a busy man, you know.
Aren't you just pretending to be busy?
That's cruel, you know. So Chunk of Coal's been working like a dog. Pretending. Just what do you think that would accomplish?
You don't want to talk about the case. Isn't that why you're trying to get away from this place?
How sad. Yes, how sad indeed. Do you really suspect little old me?
Yes.
I do suspect you, and I'm confident about it. There's clearly no basis for Kay's arrest.
I'd forgotten. Was there evidence? The mask, the letter, the corsage, all found in the girl's possession. Not to mention she even confessed. All of this serves to prove her crime. That's... Any objections?
It's too convenient. Considering this fucking
It's true.
series.
I have no objections, although there's one point that bothers me. This man seems awfully familiar with the evidence. To remember everything without missing a beat, that intrigues me. This could be a useful clue.
Nice. I recognized his first tell.
Who made the decision? Perhaps I should use that clue. Don't play dumb with me. Didn't you remember all of the evidence in full detail just now? Stop pretending to be a forgetful old man when things aren't going your way. Now then, who was the one who made the decision to arrest her?
I see, you're a sharp one, aren't you? You know, I wish my son could learn from you. Because he's a real idiot.
Not interested in your son, who made the decision for the arrest.
You're a bad man, you know. Don't you already know? The one who ordered her arrest.
Person right in front of me. I'm certain of it.
Ouch. You make it sound like I committed some kind of injustice. Guess I'll have to clear that up. My honor's at stake here, you see. Very well. Continue to play along with you until you're satisfied.
What's most crucial here is how much this man knows about this case. If I can get him to reveal that. Oh yeah, fill my bar up, baby. It's do or die. If I can overcome this, I'll reach the truth. You seem pretty familiar with the case.
I'm a wise man, you know. I'm familiar with most things, you see.
I don't think it was very wise of you to arrest Kay in this case.
I just saw Nem things and beating fishy. Let's
Let's go, fishy. Thanks. This would have already been over if you'd simply answer my questions. If you give me a proper answer, I won't take any more of your time. I'll ask you once again, why are you so familiar with this case?
I read the case files.
Why you so suspicious?
Honestly, it was quite a drag, you know. But it was my job, so what could I do? Because of my position, you see, I can't just skip out on it. Well, I had some time to kill, so I read the whole thing, you see.
So I killed someone, you see.
Damn. Okay, when he sets something on fire, it's a tell, and when he's trying to light his thing, it's also a tell. Trying and failing, I should say.
So he fucking a pyromaniac when he's nervous.
Seems to be, yeah.
Arrest him for arson.
Looks like he's just burning blank paper.
That's strange. Didn't you just say you were very busy? Aren't your faults slowly coming to light now? If you truly wish to protect your position, I would advise you to rescind the arrest order.
You really are desperate, you know. That never say die attitude touches my heart. But you know, it's unfortunate that all your hard work was for naught. Because we discovered her unconscious body near the crime scene, you see.
This is the first I've heard of Kay's condition when she was found. She was unconscious in the storeroom.
That's right. The source of that information is classified, though.
This man knows things even I don't know. Does he know the whole story behind the case? This could be a useful clue. The suspect, regarding Kay. How much do you know about her?
She's the suspect in this case. That's all I know, you see. Scout's honor.
Perhaps I should use that clue. Something you said feels out of place. You know about the things in the crime scene investigation.
There's
Never
no
revealed.
way you were a Boy Scout with that lighting attitude.
This is some bullshit you're spewing right now.
Sorry, I had to.
You're making that forceful face again. It kind of makes me want to do the same. Like this.
Yep, you're right. Whenever he goes pyro in any instance, or attempts to, take that as a compliment.
Can't you give it a rest already? My age, my body's not strong as it once was, you know. There's no one else who could be the culprit besides her. She was even given that much evidence to show that she committed the crime.
Given.
She was given evidence, you say? That's an odd choice of words. It almost sounds as if she did not possess them under her own will.
I see. You really do have a fine eye for the details. As expected of a former prodigy prosecutor. You already found your answer, haven't you? I'm listening, so go ahead and say it. There's no need to hold back.
Finally wrenched open the heavy door to the truth. All that remains is to strike the final blow. Kay is not the culprit.
It's a rather bold claim.
She'll break through that with this clue. Kay was framed. The true culprit is pinning the blame on her. That is my answer.
Oh, he lit his beard and then put it out with his tears. Yes, you're a clever one. It almost makes me feel bad that your prosecutor's badge was taken away, you know? Yes, it's as you say.
Checkmate.
But where does that leave us, huh? Sure, we won the battle, but did we win the war?
Not
Maybe.
even close.
You arrested Kay, even knew the existence of the true culprit. Don't toy with me! There's no way such an act would be tolerated.
You're so green, you know. That's what a prosecutor is supposed to do.
It will all work out fine if we make her guilty. Who would desire such a resolution? If I had to say, maybe the PIC, and also maybe me, you know. When I heard your words just now, I could barely hold back my tears, you know. It was just so splendid, you see. It burns me up inside. Not the most perfect piece of work, you know. Burning! So we can't forgive such youthfulness. You say the truth is important, but you know, once you know the real value the truth holds, I wonder if you could still say the same thing. What are you trying to say? When you get to where I am, you could just create your own truths, anytime you want. Kay Faraday's the culprit. That was a truth I simply manufactured, out of thin air. Good, very good. That face, that expression. Strike me down, Rust. Such a desperate one, you see. That's why I really wanted to bully you, you know. Even if you know the truth, there's simply nothing you can do. And that's the real value of the truth. So shocking it's to die for, you know. Why won't you pursue the true culprit? How much of the truth do you know? Do you understand now? That truth you believe in is worthless, you see. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Powerless former prosecutor. Ooh, scary, scary. I guess the friends of the heinous criminal are also quite heinous themselves. Please, you. Like this, you see, one more person disappears before me. Ah, here come the waterworks. This just won't stop, you know. Yo, what's up, Dev? Shit's going down. Everything will be decided at today's deliberation. Kay's innocence. I'll definitely prove it. Shit, so it's all going down right here, right now, eh? 10 members are present. The quorum has been met. From here on out, let the council begin. Today's deliberation shall be about Miles Edgeworth's aptitude and abilities as a prosecutor. Let our members discuss the matter with a clear conscience of the goddess of law. Clear conscience. Don't make me laugh. Courtney, please give your report. On April 5th, Prosecutor Edgeworth carried out an illegal investigation and resisted arrest. He was arrested by 2 of our members who caught him in the act, myself and Blaze de Best. Prosecutor Edgeworth disrupted the investigation of attorney Jill Crane's murder. He claims the culprit Kay Faraday was arrested without sufficient evidence. Even now, his claim remains unchanged. Tell us more about the murder incident. On April 5th, the victim's body was found here in the PIC meeting room. Regarding the details... I, Sebastian de Best, the best prosecutor, will enlighten you. Prosecutor in charge, Sebastian de Best, will explain the rest of the details.
Oh, I thought he was calling himself the best.
Well, he is.
Not.
No, he is.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
But he's not Miles Edgeworth.
Well, doesn't change the fact that's what he's calling himself. The murder happened on the night of April 4th. The victim was one Jill Crane. Oh, you saw the one where Kay got beat up last time? Shit. Yeah, it's fucked up. On the same night, a black market auction was being held in this very room. I guess Miss Crane was taking part in the auction. Yeah. Murder occurred in the middle of the auction, did it not? When Miss Crane was found, she was dressed like this, conductor of the auction. However, based on the facts that the auction continued after the murder occurred, I deduced that Miss Crane could not have been the conductor. You were the one who made that deduction. Sebastian, please show everyone the basis for the arrest of the culprit. You got it, Justine. Kay Faraday was unable to bear the weight of her good conscience. I believe you mean her guilty conscience. Yes, it was her guilty conscience that drove her to confess the crime. According to her confession on the roof of this building. You're like, what's happening? I mean, that's all you really need to know at this point. Assholes are here. They're trying to get Kay, who has lost her memory, to confess to a crime that she didn't do because she lost her memory and doesn't know any better. She met a figure in a red raincoat on the viewing platform. So Crane was wearing a red raincoat.
Yes, that's correct. The culprit used the conductor's clothes as a red herring to mislead us. At the time of murder, Miss Crane was wearing a red raincoat.
It was I who discovered the raincoat near this building.
He did. I'm sure it was the forensics team who found it.
To be more precise, it was the forensics team under Sebastian's orders who discovered it.
I thought as much.
According to the blood analysis, the person in red raincoat and Miss Crane were the same person. The decisive evidence is the culprit's own confession. She testified that she killed her. That's right. The culprit is Kay Faraday. It couldn't even even. Well then, Edgeworth, if you have any objections, let's hear them. Also don't know what's going on before May got beat up. That's how this chapter started. Like, dead ass. That was the start of the chapter. And I think you mean K.
I have no objections.
I see. Seems the fight's gone out of you, little overnight stay.
I have no objections to your claim that I investigated illegally, I admit to that. However, I object to the claim that Kay is the culprit.
I will testify that Sebastian's investigation was fair and just.
Of course it was, Justine. Don't you know I'm the fairest of them all? Edgeworth, my boy, despite how things may seem, I actually kind of like you. If, and this is just an if, you see, you were to withdraw your objection, you might be sitting on the side of the bench tomorrow. I'll ask you one more time, Edgeworth. Do you have any objections?
Don't take me for a fool.
I'd advise you to watch what you say.
This man is the one who should watch what he's saying. I'm talking about the case, not about a chair. I demand a testimony. By all means, let me hear it. I want to know how the PIC understands this case.
Testimony from us, eh? Fine then. That's what makes you happy. Corny, give him the materials from the investigation.
Sir, but that's...
It's the end of the line for him. I'll let him go in a blaze of glory.
Corny? And I was like, who the fuck's corny?
Corny. Oh. Misjudged corn syrup.
Delicious.
Corny, give the testimony.
I have no objections.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Don't worry, Kay. You just watch from over there.
Miss Crane went to the black market auction as customer. The red raincoat was one of the items up for auction. We believe she left her seat after winning the bid for it. The only exit from the storeroom is the hatch that leads to the viewing platform. Miss Crane went out on the viewing platform, where she was attacked by Kay Faraday. That was how she met her end, and that concludes my summary of the case.
That red coat was not up for auction. It didn't have a price on it.
It's quite likely. The red raincoat had been a piece of evidence in the assassination attempt on the president of Zhengfa, as you well know. Originally, it should have been stored in an appropriate place, but when I asked about it, I learned it went missing.
And it somehow made its way to the black market auction. Certainly a natural conclusion.
My, well done, Courtney. Your explanation's as clear as ever.
I'm much obliged. Prosecutor Edgeworth, would you concede defeat now?
Sorry, but I don't plan on it.
I see. I'm relieved.
Relieved? What does she mean? Come to think of it, her reason for questioning me yesterday remains a mystery. Just what is she thinking? So the red raincoat was also up for auction.
Yes, it had belonged to Shelley to kill her.
Based on the circumstances, we must consider it was an item up for auction, you see.
That was what he wore to target the president of Zhengfa. There's a mannequin that was positioned unnaturally amongst the auction goods. That may have been where the red raincoat had been on display. Do you know how the goods were procured?
We're currently investigating it. But it's none of your concern, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Soon you will be nothing more than an ordinary individual, and then you will be finished.
It seems the results of the deliberation have already been decided. Enough about me. Continue your testimony.
Since the raincoat had been up for auction.
This is gonna be a lot, huh? Just to take a quick stab. Okay. Okay. Couple quick pokes. Swing and a miss. Let's go consistent.
Saying a member of the PIC was involved in illicit dealings.
Regarding that, I have no response.
He's right, you know. After this hearing is over, we're going to have to clean up our act.
Splendid decision, Mr. Chairman.
No. It's only natural, you see. There's no need to flatter me, you know. But you know, that had nothing to do with you at all, Edgeworth. Because by then, you won't even be a prosecutor anymore, you see. Now it is tearful. Business is checked up, cleared up.
You're at 37? Fair enough. Pop open the walkthrough just in case I need it. I'm gonna try my best not to rely too much on it, but why would you that's all, folks. Why would you leave the victim immediately after? Leave seat. Fuck! What is wrong?
Had to do with how the auction was conducted. Seems after the winning bid, the victim was required to pay for the item immediately.
Matches up with Miss Hart's testimony.
We believe that Miss Crane paid her bid for the raincoat, and then immediately tried to leave the auction.
I take a major issue with this testimony.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
If she was the one conducting the auction, why would she be the one paying for it, and why would she immediately leave?
Well, they already said that DeBest and the forensic team concluded that she wasn't conducting the auction at all after all.
Huh. I guess I must have missed that when I went to go get my food.
That's chill.
Customers were required to enter and exit from the hatch. Miss Crane was simply following protocol. Considering where the murder took place, she must have tried to leave through there.
Later. It seems to be your favorite time for interrogations.
The culprit was aware that the customers were required to exit from the hatch. It would have been easy to lie in wait for an ambush. Miss Crane was attacked when she was leaving the hatch. That was how she met her end. I conclude to be something of the case.
And what do you mean by that?
She passed away. To be more precise, she was murdered.
The candelabra was one of the items in the auction. Therefore, Kay should not have been able to get her hands on it.
If she were able to lie in wait for the attack, she must have known about the storeroom. If she sneaked into the storeroom during the auction, she could have obtained it.
Now, if we
No
only
one
had
would leave that shit unguarded during an auction.
what the candelabra was during the entire auction, you know? How about it?
Oh,
There's no such evidence.
My apologies. We hope to find that evidence soon.
what the fuck? Why is this?
Wait. The victim encountered the culprit on top of the roof and the crime occurred there. According to her reasoning, the murder took place at the viewing platform. The fuck?
I'm assuming only sibling.
Ah.
Okay.
Maybe the idea is that... Sup, Dev? Costume trunk was busted open. The blood was on the left. Victim's fingerprints and blood were found in the hood. Why am I wearing a green wig? Because I like it. There's literally no other reason. I've just started wearing it now. Because I was able to buy it, and I like it. Found on the hood? Why would blood be found on the hood if she was stabbed in the heart? Check the autopsy real quick. Cause of death is a stab to the wound. Stab wound to the left. Like your style? Thanks. Head wound was post-mortem. Burn mark on the victim's hand. Burn mark on the victim's hand. Burn mark. Head wound is post-mortem. Thought to be the murder weapon. Could it have been something else? Missing its left horn. There's no. Prongs of the candelabra are covered in blood. The shape even matches up with the victim's wounds. Is this the murder weapon of the case? It is covered in blood. No one ran a report on this candelabra. Okay. Please get revenge for 12 years ago. Most precious memory. How do I go about this exactly? Got it. This has become like less precise deduction and more like furious thrustings in a fencing game.
My sister is losing her goddamn mind over the new customization shit in Monster Hunter.
So I heard.
Yeah. Right now she's editing Cat, which explains all the screaming you guys might have heard.
Yeah, I remember you were screaming too.
I kept my alterations to characters off stream at least.
Judge Courtney, I've found it to be strange for a while now. Why is Miss Hart here with us?
She's an eyewitness to the case. Isn't it only natural for her to be in attendance?
Aw, shucks. I reckon I'm more of an ear witness than an eyewitness.
Seems like gaining the trust of others isn't your strong point, Courtney.
Perhaps I simply do not wish to be tactless as you.
It appears you have failed to get the witness to tell you the most vital information. Please look at this photo. This was taken by Miss Hart.
We all went into it! That's amazing.
This photo seems to have been taken in a
And
storm.
what else are we supposed to go to?
I don't know.
According to your reasoning, the incident took place on the viewing platform. However, Miss Hart encountered the incident in the storeroom. That's right. It had taken place just before this photo was taken.
Wait! If that's true, then Justine's reasoning...
Exactly. It doesn't hold up.
What?!
Miss Hart, allow me to ask you again. You saw the person in the photo with your own eyes, correct?
I sure did. Seen it plain as day with my own two eyes.
What did you think at the time?
I figured it was about time for me to get a big scoop, you know? I guess that makes sense.
That's not what I meant. What'd you think of that person?
Huh? Well, reckon she helped me bring home the bacon.
Are you mocking me?
Ah, shucks, don't make that scary old face. It's just a harmless little joke. Person in the red raincoat? I reckon they were the culprit.
I hope you understand now. The crime occurred in the...
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I cannot understand your argument if you do not say it out loud. If you had simply asked, I would have been more than willing to explain.
Explain what?
The sounds Miss Hart heard may not necessarily have been related to the case.
That's impossible. Enough of your excuses.
Was the voice that Miss Hart heard really that of Miss Crane? Such a shady conversation must have something to do with the case. What did her voice sound like? Her voice? Well, beats me. How was I supposed to know? They were both using voice changes. Yes, the voice Miss Hart heard had been altered by a device. We must therefore question whether or not they have any bearing on this case. You need not object just because you wish to sigh.
Judge Courtney, it seems I've greatly overestimated you.
No, Courtney's quite amazing to see.
Claim the sounds Miss Hart heard have no bearing on the case. Even if they do not, it doesn't change the fact the crime took place in the storeroom. At the very least, the crime must have occurred before the victim went up to the rooftop. The reason being...
Alright, so is the idea that we found blood on the side of the ladder and that blood should be visible right now? Maybe I just hit the wrong part.
Sure.
Oh, her hand! Her fucking hand, I'm dumb.
At first, I thought the person in the red raincoat was the culprit.
Well, Miss Hart's testimony certainly made it sound that way.
Precisely. It was because she saw that person's hand. It was covered in blood. Anyone who heard her testimony would have arrived at the same conclusion. The person in the red raincoat was the culprit, and the blood on their hand was the victim's. However, if the person in the red raincoat was the victim, the situation changes completely. Since blood can be seen in this photo, it must have been taken after the crime occurred. It seems we've been under the wrong impression in regards to the victim's condition. This photo shows the true condition of the victim.
I'm going to scream if she does that again. I just want to sit down and stay sitting down. And now I've wasted time on my hunt. I'm not playing Monster Hunter, what are you talking about?
Ollie, I see you on Discord and what it says.
You can't prove anything.
I've got Discord on my second monitor at all times.
Evidence is everything in a court of law.
Would you like me to take a screenshot?
Where's Maddie? I need my lawyer.
I need my lawyer!
Take that!
That's funny.
There she is! There's my lawyer.
Oh shit, speaking.
Hold it! I sent
on.
Ollie a screenshot, that's why I didn't take that.
Hang on, I smell something. I'm gonna...
It only says Monster Hunter, it doesn't say Worlds. So, lawyer, what do you have to say in my defense? Besides getting a lawyer. Damn it. So what I'm hearing is get a new lawyer.
Hold it!
Okay, sorry. I thought I smelled smoke, but everything's okay.
The victim was definitely attacked in the storeroom. Immediately afterwards, the victim was seen with blood on her hand. That must mean the victim was still alive
even after you've just been here but quiet. Yeah, that's fair. You don't feel obligated to talk or anything. It's chill. It's nice, but no pressure. No pressure, man.
The victim was still alive even after she was attacked. Blood on her hand must have come from her wound.
No way. Are you saying she died from a hand injury?
No, that's not the case. I suspect she just held her hand against the wound. Can't be seen in the photo, but at this moment she must have already suffered a fatal wound.
That's true, then it changes a lot of things, you know.
Seems you understand. This refutes the allegations against Kay. She encountered the victim after this picture was taken. I believe at that point in time the victim was already on the verge of death. It's likely Kay just happened to be present when the victim reached the end of her strength.
That is quite the coincidence.
We've seen worse coincidences.
I can only say she was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, it seems you've forgotten a crucial fact. You must mean that, right? You must be pretending that he hasn't noticed it, you see.
What'd you say? Are you implying I forgot something?
Courtney, I think it's about time you gave him his last rites. Hey, Pops, Justine's with me, you know. Don't order her around like that. You know, even though you're my son, you're so embarrassing.
I hate them both.
I'm not embarrassing!
Sorry, but you're both rather embarrassing.
Edgeworth agrees.
Justine, give Mr. Edgeworth his, very well. I shall give him his last rites.
Oh, fuck.
When the body was found, there were 3 wounds in Miss Crane's chest. I'm sure you're well aware what kind of wounds these were, right? Yes, she was stabbed in the heart with the 3-pronged candelabra. Is there any person who could survive such an injury? Please take a close look at the autopsy report. Can you still say the same thing after reading it? Well done, Justine. With this, Mr. Edgeworth will...
I will offer a rebuttal, of course.
Why would you do that? Didn't you just hear what Justine said?
Of course I did, and I still plan to object to it.
It's not fair! You're always opposing me at every turn!
It's never my intention to oppose you.
Huh?
What the fuck? No, not you. Oh, wait, what?
It's simply not worth my time.
So that's how it is, be up. After all, that's enough, you know. You're embarrassing your father, you see. Huh? What do you mean, Pops?
You see, son, you're a disappointment.
Body was found. There were 3 wounds in Miss Crane's chest. Sound rather painful.
Indeed. I'm rummaging around. Oh, there it is. We must punish the culprit accordingly.
Kay, do not listen to what she says. Judge Courtney, please continue your reasoning.
Very well. She had 3 wounds. I'm sure you're well aware what kind of wounds these were, right?
Why don't you ask Sebastian instead?
Me? Yeah, I know everything!
He's obviously lying.
Sebastian, maybe you should sneak a peek at the autopsy report, you know. Let's see here. The fatal wound was caused by the candelabra. Ooh, so that's how it was. The cause of the wound was just as Sebastian said. Yes, she was stabbed in the heart with the 3-pronged candelabra.
So the cause of death was a stab wound to the heart, is that correct?
Yes, the candelabra pierced
Stab
right
in
into
the
her.
heart.
Since this was
and
Dr. Young's
you're
medical
blind.
opinion, must be the truth. You give love a bad name. The coroner's medical opinion follows my own opinion, therefore it's perfect.
I certainly
I
didn't
hate
look
this.
at the autopsy's reports, however.
Don't ignore my opinion.
The cause of death was a stab wound to the victim's chest.
Ignore his opinion more. Don't piss him off.
That piece of evidence.
Stab wounds to the chest.
So I've always thought Sebastian sprites made him look like a jackass, but God, I didn't know the half of it.
You didn't know. You didn't know.
doubt she would have held on for long. People can survive after being stabbed in the chest? In some cases. Maybe they can. Although maybe they can't. Huh. So in the end, which one is it? No such human exists. If you think they do, then first... Take a close look at the autopsy report. You still say the same thing after reading it?
Uh-oh. I might need to mute myself because there is a frozen Anjanath here.
Oh, fair enough.
According to the
But
autopsy
if I'm lucky, he'll kill Toby.
Yeah, burninate, Dev. You can actually burninate if you gather the points. So that's cool.
Yeah.
According to the autopsy report, the stab wound to the left chest caused the fatality.
Correct. The autopsy report itself is the foundation for my reasoning.
In other words, I just have to shatter that foundation, right?
I don't find that amusing at all. I look forward to seeing you try. Nevertheless,
Yeah!
Yeah, burn him.
please take a close look at the autopsy report before you make your rebuttal. Show me that your reasoning is not just mere conjecture.
Very well.
Mr. Edgeworth?
We'll be fine, Kay. There's nothing for you to worry about. Evidence the victim was alive after the incident. I can just find that.
Now...
Take it. Oops, let me start screaming. Blood on the head left. Black market auction was being held up in the Grand Tower. Items up for auction were pieces of evidence from past cases. One people attended the event, each one of them wearing a mask. Auction continued even after Jill Crane's murder. 3 wounds in Miss Crane's chest.
Oh! Oh, shit! We gotta subscribe!
Oh,
What's
we gotta
up, thinking?
subscribe! Subscribble!
What the hell is up? You are back. I am back. How's watching AGDQ been?
That's awesome games done quick, right?
Indeed it is.
Yep.
Yay. Because Forrest said those letters the other day and it just sounded like gibberish to me because he said them so fast.
And as always, shots 500 bits or $5 donations. Or subscribes $5. You get it. That. I didn't catch Ocarina of Time, but I did catch the Legend of Zelda Relay, which was like Legend of Zelda, the Legend of Zelda 2, and then Link to the Past. 3 people in teams, or 3 teams of 3 people each were racing against each other in 3 games. It was crazy. So there were like total 9 people in that. Ooh. Yeah, that shit was nutty. Oh, what did you have there? What is that? TK. What's that? I don't even know what that is.
Team kill.
Oh, what? I guess
That's all I
killed
got.
myself. But yeah, I missed out the Ocarina of Time. The one I was really interested in was the Final Fantasy VIII one, because Final Fantasy VIII is like one of my favorite games of all time. But about halfway through, I discovered something, and I got really disheartened. And quite honestly, it's not something I currently want to talk about. So yeah.
So let's forget about that and play more Ace Attorney!
Indeed.
Oh, I thought that would have been a followable fuck.
Well, aware what kind of wounds these were. She was stabbed in the heart with a 3-pronged Campbell Damble. 3-pronged Campbell Damble. That's the one.
Like I said, it's Lumiere. He's the
Alright.
killer.
First things first. What if the removed horn did it? Okay. That was a bit of a long shot. I
Murder to the test. Tie that rope around your neck, Sherry, and we will do the rest.
take a close look at the autopsy report. I will have myself a nice stretch of the autopsy report. Victim's body was discovered in the PIC meeting room. The estimated time of death is somewhere between late last night and midnight. Cause of death was stab wounds to the left chest with candelabra. Head wound was post-mortem. Burn mark on victim's hand. Why would there be a burn mark? Statue of Justice behind corner. Looks all right for some. Oh, speaking of blindfolded, I fucking also caught the Punch-Out blindfolded where two people were playing. One person held one end of the controller while the other person held the other. That shit was nuts. They actually beat Mike Tyson. It was fucking crazy. I lost my shit.
I think I heard something about that.
That shit was nuts. Alright. Super stretch. But what if I just deadass present the autopsy report? Okay, no, that's not it. Okay. Is the idea to contradict her by including the headshot? No. Maybe the idea is that there's no such wound present on the raincoat itself. Gotcha!
Chairman DeBest, do you know what this is?
Seems to be a red raincoat. How about it, Courtney? The victim, Miss Crane, was wearing this earlier. Prosecutor Edgeworth, must I repeat my explanation to you all over again?
I suppose it just might come to that, Judge Courtney.
Oh, for the record, if it wasn't implicit, thank you very much for the subscribe.
Answer me this. The red raincoat was stained with blood. Do you happen to remember where specifically those bloodstains were located?
Of course I do. Those were on the hood. Wait, it can't be. What does this mean?
Judge Courtney, were there any other bloodstains besides the one on the hood?
None were detected.
Don't you think it's strange? The victim died from a stab wound to the chest. In that case, there should have been bloodstains on the front of the raincoat. However, the only blood they found was on the hood. This is a huge contradiction. The wound on the victim's head is no ordinary wound. After all, the victim sustained this wound before she was stabbed in the chest.
It does appear to be that way, doesn't it? The victim first suffered the head wound. If she had already been stabbed in the chest, the raincoat would have been stained with blood. Therefore, it is unthinkable that her chest was stabbed before she suffered the head wound. So the order would be, first the head, followed by chest. However, does that really change the situation?
With this, a contradiction is born. Once the one that overturns all of our assumptions up until now.
Is the change really that great? I look forward to hearing it. Well then, this contradiction. Why don't you show it to me? With evidence.
This piece of evidence shows the contradiction that arises from
Evidence. Take
The
that.
idea that the head wound was somehow made while she was still wearing the mask? No. Contradiction.
Okay. This is the autopsy report written by Dr. Young. According to this, the head wound was post-mortem.
But that's not what the raincoat shows.
Exactly. It's the exact opposite.
Bailiff, hurry and summon Dr. Bonnie Young at once. Until we hear what she has to say, we cannot close the curtains on this case.
Yeah, ma'am, understood.
Dr. Young's a busy person. It'll take some time for her to arrive. In the meantime, let us try viewing this case from another angle. There's something that's been on my mind. One of the key figures in this case, the conductor. We still don't know who that person is.
Now that you mention it, even after our investigation, we still have no idea who it is.
The conductor has come time and time again during this hearing. However, at this point in time, their identity remains a mystery. How about it? Do you have any ideas?
I'm still not sure at the moment, however. There is someone I have in mind. A certain individual involved with this case who might know something about it.
Who's that?
Blaze de Best. I demand your testimony.
It's a surprise character like Yanni Yogi. I don't think they'd pull that on me. I'd be surprised. Don't say such a stupid thing! Why would you suspect Pops?
Are you trying to cast
Because your
suspicion
pops is suspicious as fuck.
towards the chairman of the PIC? Do you understand what that means?
Status and prestige mean nothing before the truth. That man is trying to pin the crime on Kay. The evidence in Kay's possession, the ticket stub, the mask, the corsage. These items did not come into her possession out of her own volition. By some method, that man purposefully planted them on her personage.
It is hard to believe such a sudden accusation, but I'll ask just in case. Why would he do that?
Obviously to direct suspicion towards Kay. I succeeded in drawing out those words from it earlier.
Mr. Chairman, your response?
Are you too shocked to speak?
And what of it? Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said, what of it? You say you drew some words from me, but you don't have a shred of proof, you know. No one else heard it but you. It just doesn't work like that, you see. Or do you have something else? You know, some kind of basis for your argument.
His confidence. He also showed it at the cell.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I would like you to explain once more. I trust we have your permission, Mr. Chairman.
But of course, I'm pretty interested in this matter myself, you know. I'd like to know just what part of me seems criminal to Edgeworth.
First of all, your fashion sense.
No one as honest as I am, you see. Second of all, you're a fucking lying piece of shit. You fresh from the pool? No, he just keeps crying all the time. He's constantly sobbing.
Let's start from the top. The fact that the auction was held in this room is cause for suspicion. This is the PIC meeting room. I imagine it would be difficult for non-members to enter.
That's why all the members have keycards, you know.
I think we can assume that multiple auctions have been held here before. Therefore, suspecting a member of the PIC would be...
The best?
Yes, because the conductor had been a PIC member.
What? Wait, no!
What was that all about?
What do I do, Pops? I just helped the enemy. Sebastian really is an idiot, you know. But you see, Edgeworth, I'm not the only one with access, you know.
Indeed, there are 11 members in the PIC. Even if you rule out the victim, Miss Crane, there are still 10 potential suspects.
It's not me. It could be me, Chairman, right? Oh, yes, whatever it is, just come forward. Yes, yes. Everyone just calm down, you know. Edgeworth, is that all you've got? Where's the evidence to suspect me? Oh, so you've fallen silent. But you've gone too far, you see. I won't forgive you anymore. It's too late for regrets, you know. I'm a very important man, you see. Former chief prosecutor and chairman of the PIC. Roman justice and execute them all?
What is
Jesus
it with-
Christ.
What is it with, like, head prosecutors and whatnot being absolute murderers?
Hey, Lana was fine. It's fine. if
No,
you're not
like
prepared.
before that, former ones.
Oh, yeah. It's fine if you're not prepared to face the fire, you know, because you see. Either way, it won't make any difference. Because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna bully you. Been rambling on for quite a while about the most trivial details, you know. Like the location of the murder, the order of the wounds. What else was there? It doesn't matter, you know. See, none of that means anything, you know. Think about it. We've got the suspect herself saying she killed the victim.
That's all that matters, you see. She'll even get a lighter sentence with a confession, you know. Now,
Why don't you confess, fucker?
if there are any contradictions, be my guest.
Could that be considered a testimony? There must be a contradiction somewhere.
That person, he's very important, isn't he? Mr. Edgeworth, it's alright.
A lighter sentence. Oh my god, was that a thing? Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Come on, man. Okay, to be fair, thinking
Those
you're one to
just
talk.
blew me up.
Oh boy, here we go.
Let's just give up. Surely I must have killed her. I can't even remember it.
Don't be tied down by your muddled memories. If you want to believe in something, believe in me that believes in you. Believe in your own innocence. Believe in me who believes in you!
Oh, fuck it, I'm taking a shot! Holy shit! I didn't actually expect him to do it! You mad lad!
You've gone full comet up.
Edgeworth, you absolute legend.
Oh, fan translators, I love you! They had to have known. They had to have known! Come on! Nah, Nem. I don't do quotes that aren't mine. That's not my quote. That ain't me, fam. Well, I'd rather... Fuck, I think I just completely lost the cap to my whiskey. Ah, well. Just set it over here precariously. Oh, nope, found it. I was not expecting that. Nah, dog. It's gotta be like a person that said it. I don't do fiction quotes. But I appreciate your enthusiasm. My shite. The miracle. Oh, really? I don't know what you're talking about then. I don't know what you want me to quote. I got wrapped up in it. I'm sorry. I got wrapped up in the moment. Just gonna set that back here now.
But
My opponent is the PIC chairman. Taking him down won't be easy. However, he has underestimated me, if I can take advantage of that. Location of the murder. Order of wounds. The autopsy report and the questions about the conductor. Were you even listening?
talk is cheap, you know. I was listening, you see. I didn't think much of it, you know.
Yeah, now.
You didn't think much of it, even after I brought up all those issues. Perhaps your judgment needs to be questioned rather than my ability as a prosecutor.
Ha! That's a good one, Edgeworth. But you see, it just doesn't matter. Because none of that means anything. Ah.
Call the order of room. Right thinking? He's clearly corrupt. He's clearly like the most corrupt person I've seen. Second maybe only to Manfred himself.
It simply doesn't matter as much as you say it does, you know. You
I
see,
don't know. Justine and Sebastian are pretty far up there. At least in my eyes right now.
Yeah,
Might
but
redeem
they don't
themselves.
beat out Blaze. And they don't beat out, like, the thing is, I feel like Justine might just be essentially taking orders. And even if not, I still don't think they beat out Blaze or Manfred right now. Like, they have used everything to their advantage, but Justine and Sebastian have not outright fabricated shit, you know? Like, that's a line they haven't crossed. Sure, they're corrupt. Don't get me wrong. They're fucked up. They are absolutely not innocent or anything. Objection! Even if you say that, you know, won't solve anything.
What
good will it do to deny her confession? Sounds like nonsense to me. Why don't you asking her again? I think she'll just say that she's the murderer again, though.
Very well. Let's try asking her again one last time. I'd like to hear it from Kay herself, whether or not she's the culprit.
Huh? From me? Will that be alright? If this goes poorly, it'll be quite unfavorable for you.
I do not mind. However, I shall ask Kay the question myself.
pt8.
No, the other K.
Fine then, I'll let you ask her. However, I have one condition. If all this proves to be a waste of time...
That's always the one question, isn't it? Or one request.
That'll be the end of it. The end of the hearing? Yes. Seems you could be smart once in a while, Sebastian. In other words, you see, if she confesses again, Kay Faraday will be found beyond a shadow of a doubt guilty. Yep, it's a fine idea.
Guilty beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, that's right.
It's harsh. By the way, if I do nothing, she'll be declared guilty. Kay. I know what I'm asking of you is unreasonable, but please, I want you to answer me. It doesn't matter how tiny it is. Do you remember anything? Anything that would prove your innocence?
Why? Why would you go that far for me? I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Harsh, but also illegal. Where the hell is... Yeah, this is really some, like, what's it called? Like, banana court or something? It's monkey court? I can't remember what it's called. Jungle
This shit
court?
is bananas.
Kangaroo court! Fuck, I was getting... If you let me go
Yeah,
through a
you
bunch
know,
of
the
wildlife,
things from
I'd
places on
eventually
fire.
make it to Australia.
Don't worry, it's just on fire.
Why is she... Oh, God.
I mean,
Why'd you have
there's blaze here, so if we're told...
Ollie, I need you to stop. I don't want to think about that right now. I can't do anything about that.
Conspiracy theory time.
Oh, no. Ollie, no.
Yes.
Halt.
Ollie, yes.
Halt.
Can't
Seriously.
stop, won't stop.
Seriously, Ollie.
Alright.
I really don't want to have that much of a downer on me for something I can't do anything about right now.
I'll make up a different conspiracy for something else.
Stop! You violated the law! Thank you! Oh, honestly, me to all of the people here. You don't have to pay me a fine.
Too scared to remember. Because I might have done something even worse. If that were the case, it only made things worse for you, Mr. Edgeworth. Kay Faraday must have been a despicable criminal. Someone who betrayed your trust.
Don't worry.
Your stolen memes are now forfeit.
We've only known each other for a short
Holy
while.
turn now.
But I know... I'd even say I know you better than yourself now that you've lost your memories.
Oh, this is the big one. Oh, am I gonna give her the badge to fucking hype her up? Yeah!
The great thief Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu is a noble thief who would never stoop to murder.
Boy.
No, it's useless. After all. No matter what, that memory still remains. This image stuck in my head. I can't get rid of it. It means I must have...
There's no clear evidence to prove you're the culprit, besides your own confession. Remember what I said. You must believe in yourself. Or perhaps, cannot trust my words.
No, that's not it. It's because you're trying to save someone like me. You've already lost so much, all for my sake. I can't bear it anymore. Please, just give up.
I see now. I thought it was strange. The reason you were acting like you wanted to be found guilty is because you were concerned about me. And that is just like you, Kay.
It's because you're a good person, Mr. Edgeworth.
Unfortunately, I may fall short of your expectations. I'm not trying to be a good person. No matter how much you may want me to give up, I'll keep trying to save you. This is the nature of who I am. Whether or not it's a burden for you is none of my concern. Okay, believe in yourself once more. You're a noble, great thief. What you should be doubting is your memory of committing the murder. It's my wish above all else. Please.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
What is it? Did you remember something?
She remembers something now. It'd be like a bad movie.
Oh.
Shit! Bullshit!
Bull? Prosecutor Edgeworth, please ask her to clarify.
Okay. What do you mean by bull?
I remember now. The person in the red raincoat had that with her.
Red coat, the bull!
The stuffed bull doll, I'm certain.
Is
Is that true, defendant? Yes, Your Honor. The court hereby accepts the defendant's statement as a new piece of testimony.
Quit messing around, Courtney. A testimony like that cannot be accepted, you know?
Your objection's been noted, sir. However, testimony about the victim's belongings
has been lacking up until now.
Nevertheless, you know, her vague memories can't be trusted, you know?
Her memories are vague. That would be bad for us as well. Didn't you say this earlier yourself, Mr. Chairman? Since we have the suspect's confession, we don't need to worry about the trivial details. If we decide to doubt her memories, then we must also doubt her confession, which is the main foundation of our case. Are you willing to do that, sir?
Ah, you're right. Well, never mind then. She'll leave it to you.
Thank you very much.
Victim was gored by a Spanish bullfighter running from the bull.
Touch and go there
That's
for a while.
beautiful.
However, those words of Judge Courtney just now,
These things happen.
almost feels as if she's on our side.
Especially in this world.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, do you know anything about this stuffed animal?
The stuffed animal Kay spoke of must have been this.
The Go Law Clerics.
We found it in the storeroom. It's believed to be one of the items for auction.
Oh shit. Let's do a big examine.
This is...
Do you know something about it, Justine?
no. It's just a bit different from what I imagined.
Indeed.
Missing a horn.
It's certainly not what I would have expected the victim to be carrying. Let's examine every suspicious nook and cranny.
Oh yeah. Get my examining arm on. Hey, this hair, is it blood? No, but what's in the hair?
A cherry blossom petal stuck in its soft purr. Speaking of which, there was also some stuck in the red raincoat.
The cherry tree. Wasn't there one blooming on the viewing platform?
Yes, seems safe to assume it was taken outside. But why would the victim be carrying something like this?
Avis, I'm suddenly feeling very fatigued, so I'm gonna go lie down.
Super fair, Maddie.
So I will
Alex.
talk to you later. And we
Alright.
can continue binge watching what we were watching tomorrow. And
Totes.
everything's fine.
Maybe. We'll check on it tomorrow.
I need to continue watching, but then I don't.
Alright, get some rest, Maddie.
Like,
Bye-bye.
I had the intention to today, but then Mr. Clemps was streaming with Super Butterbuns.
That horn is missing.
It's a horn stuffed animal. Seems the hole is where the horn is inserted into.
I guess its head isn't stuffed with cotton. I wonder what's inside.
Perhaps I should examine the other side.
I shall.
On.
The right horn seems to be fine, but the entire balance feels a bit off.
This horn. Looks like you can move it.
What?
What was that buzzing sound?
Seems this toy is equipped with a recording device.
And I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. Silence, huh? Been waiting for my chance to get revenge all this time.
Is this the moment of the murder?
Could have recorded something like this.
Yo. One of them has a burn mark? That's clearly the lady with the burn mark on her hand.
This? There ain't no doubt about it. This here is what I heard. We cannot verify when these voices were recorded. It's also possible they aren't related to the case at all. If only we had some video as well. That's hogwash. I'm telling you, that right there was the conversation I heard. The victim was holding on to it, right? Reckon it must have been recorded when she got attacked. Certainly is a possibility. However, your testimony alone is insufficient. I require something with a little more credibility.
Again, her words. Almost sounds as if she's trying to give me advice. Judge Courtney, there's no mistake the voices were from the incident. Please recall the audio recorded by the stuffed animal. I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. If we compare this part of the recording with a certain piece of evidence, we can prove it.
It took place during the time of the crime. I don't think it's the autopsy report, but I'm gonna hit the autopsy report. Oh yeah! The autopsy report? Exactly what part of the autopsy report shows this? Burn.
I remember clearly what that voice said. You can't hide that burn from me. On the victim's hand, there was a burn mark.
Indeed. Just happened to match up, you see. But what of it?
According to Kay's testimony, the victim had been holding the stuffed animal, and it just happened to record a characteristic of the victim, namely the burn.
It's just a coincidence. I mean, it could happen, right? I do not think so. It is hard to believe that all of this is simply a coincidence. The voices on the stuffed animal were most likely recorded during the incident.
One of these voices must belong to the true culprit. From what we've heard, it must have been the one who was doing most of the talking.
What's the point? In the end, we still can't tell their gender or identity, you know.
Indeed, because they had been using voice changers. Can't be helped.
Seems the situation has become quite clear. The conversation Miss Hart overheard was between the culprit and Miss Crane. It's what I've been telling you from the start.
From this, we will understand a new fact.
Please enlighten us. I trust you have no objections, Mr. Chairman. Do what you want.
According to Miss Hart's testimony, just before the incident, 2 people came up from the auction hall using the lift. Must have been the conductor and one of the auction guests. They probably went there to settle their payment after winning a bid. And then, it was there the crime was carried out. Since the auction continued after the crime took place, we're led a single truth.
The culprit's the conductor. Yo! What's up, Maddie? Making that comeback in the chat. Roast away, friendo.
Since the conductor was the only one who could keep the auction going, we could conclude that the deceased victim could not have been the conductor.
Justine.
Oh, it's a burn party. Fucking
Burn party!
Ollie, get your shit in there.
I will join once I have
Monster
killed
Hunter.
this monster.
Fair enough.
Please
Look,
be quiet here, okay?
I've...
The conductor was not the victim.
Earlier.
They must have been the culprit.
Please wait. That alone is insufficient.
Of course, even I do not intend to rely only upon the process of elimination. Certain traces left at the crime scene lead me to believe the culprit is the conductor.
I got a big TV at the foot of my bed with my laptop hooked up.
Honestly, I feel ya, and I kind of like want to have a setup like that, but I don't think that's really practical with my current room layout. It sounds awesome though.
Please show it to us.
What were the traces left at the crime scene that would deduce the culprit as the conductor?
Okay, so it's probably something in this back half here. Traces in the crime scene. Deduce the culprit's the conductor. The blood in the hidden lift, maybe? No. Maybe it's because the conductor was the only person to realistically have access to the costume trunk, and we know that blood was in there. Damn. Deduce the culprit is the conductor. Oh! Fingerprints and blood found in the hood.
Take that!
Deduce the culprit is the conductor. Candelabra, maybe?
Take that!
Oh, maybe the idea is that it must be the stuffed animal because that was one of the pieces of evidence she walked away with. They went up to discuss, like, to do the transaction. No. I'm gonna get it at some point. I mean, it can't be that obvious, can it? No. Traces left at the crime scene. The culprit's the conductor.
Take that!
Oh, okay.
Culprit purposely left a large amount of blood in the meeting room. In doing so, we were led to believe the meeting room had been the scene of the crime.
Sorry, Maddie.
It was a ruse by the true culprit to hide the blood that had fallen from the storeroom.
So we wouldn't find out about the existence of the black market auction, correct?
Indeed. If the culprit had been unrelated to the auction, there would have been no need to do such a thing. Ergo, the culprit could have only been the conductor.
Well then, do you have any ideas as to who the conductor might possibly be?
The auction hall is at the PIC meeting room, and furthermore, there's a storeroom above it. The conductor must have been at the very least a member of the PIC.
So, in other words, you suspect me, I take it.
Isn't it natural to suspect you, the one with the most authority in the PIC?
You're quite capable. I'll give you that much, at least. But you know, like I said before, you're far too naive. You have nothing, you know. There's no evidence that proves I'm the culprit. If by some chance you do have evidence, then why don't you present it?
Do I have evidence that Blaze is the culprit?
Maybe I do have it. Is the evidence the burn mark on her?
Take that!
I'm gonna say I don't and see what happens.
Blaze himself has suggested he's the criminal. He's been showing that strange self-confidence for a while now.
The man burns papers, possible evidence before our eyes. Everyone just chills, let the papers blank or what?
If you play with fire, you're gonna get burned, Edgeworth. Just kidding. I always wanted to say that, you know. Well then, Courtney. I reckon I just remembered something too. What? You also lost your memories? No, that ain't it. Something just popped into my head right now. Very well. Please tell us. Courtney, could you tell me what you were doing?
Prosecutor Edgeworth will not give up until we have destroyed every last possibility. I'm destroying every possibility, so that he will never oppose us again.
Justine, I don't really know what's going on, but well said! Pops, I'm gonna help too. After all, he's the one who's wrong. Fine then. Let's hear what she has to say.
Well then, Miss Hart,
Please proceed. Sure thing. Just leave it to me.
Please make sure you only tell the truth.
Ain't that a matter of course? I'm a bona fide journalist of justice, you know?
Somehow I feel uneasy.
Y'all saying the culprit was the conductor, right? That means the victim was a customer. Now here's where it gets a mite strange. You see, there were 11 people at the auction. When the auction continued after the incident, I went straight on over and snuck a peek down below.
You don't mean...
I'd trust Larry Butts' testimony more than you. It really did become Lana's theme, huh? It's more just like theme of mischievous person. Like the first time I remember hearing that theme was with April May, so I actually kind of associate it with her more than anything, but it's obviously gone on to be just an overall I'm a lighthearted person that won't tell you everything right away, but I'm probably okay in general. Maybe. Maybe, not always.
Exactly what I mean. All 11 people were still accounted there. Present and accounted for.
What?
Are you sure about that? Sure, I'm sure. Saw it with my own 2 eyes. So it started with 11 people, and there were still 11 people after the murder. Was it a ghost?
You know, Sebastian, normally a prosecutor would call that a contradiction, you know.
Were there really no changes in the auction at all?
Really? I'm telling you, the auction went on just like normal. But one itty bitty thing, though.
You lied in the very first murder trial you went.
You know those hammers you always see at an auction? Like the one that lady's using over there? An auction gavel, perhaps? Yeah, that's the one. All of a sudden, I couldn't hear the sound no more. I've been banging away just prior to it.
The auction gavel's one of the murder weapons. It got bashed in the head. That explains the head injury.
The sound of the gavel. Does that have anything to do with the case?
If Miss Hart's testimony is the truth, then this matter has taken a grave turn. The victim was neither the conductor nor a customer. The very foundation of Prosecutor Edgeworth's reasoning collapsed. Justice prevails, as they say. I hope you've learned your lesson, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, there really is nothing we can do.
It's not over yet. Some mysteries still remain. I have to think. If I don't, Kay will be...
Did you get the answer you wanted this time? Well then, a deal's a deal. Please wait, Mr. Chairman. There are still a few mysteries left in this case. Until we have solved them all, we cannot call this a complete victory. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Edgeworth? I was expecting you to shout, "Hold it," like you always do.
Yes, of course. Once again, Judge Courtney's come to my aid.
Well then, what is it? What sort of mysteries are left? Well, of course, there's the contradiction in the autopsy report. That kind of thing. I brought her in. What's wrong? Why are we suddenly called here? Did someone suddenly get sick? I'll begin preparing a compress stat. Ow! What'd you call me here for? Did something happen?
The idea is Courtney's only corrupt on her resume so she can purge the other corrupt member. That'd be fun. Yo, what if Courtney was a member of fucking Interpol this whole time? Hyper undercover, like Revolver Ocelot style.
Dr. Young, Miss Jensen, you have my gratitude for taking the trouble to come here.
Next thing you know, we're gonna find out that she was working for the president all along.
This won't take long, so please relax. Tell me what in the blazes is going on. Of course. We called you here because something came up.
Judge Courtney, just what are you planning?
Judge Courtney's the president of the United States.
Bonnie Young, under the divine rule of law, please answer truthfully. There were no mistakes in your autopsy report, correct? Franny would never make a mistake. That's certainly strange.
President of Japanifornia.
What's strange? This court has found an error in Dr. Young's autopsy report. Dr. Young, please tell the truth. Did you falsify the autopsy report? That's terrible! How could you accuse her of that? I have no idea what you're talking about. Why would I do such a thing in the first place? To protect the true culprit, of course. What you talking about? I would never do such a thing. How strange. In that case, why would there be an error in the autopsy report, I wonder? Prosecutor Edgeworth? What do you think? Oh, I expected you to press into a statement like you normally do.
Why is she taking control of the situation and trying to help me? I don't know what her goal is, but I must play along. If the autopsy report you gave to Sebastian had been authentic, then the error should not have been there.
Wait a minute! I didn't do anything!
That is what we'll figure out from this point on. Firstly, Dr. Young, I'd like to hear your testimony.
Why do you want to hear her testimony? It'd be pointless.
I will be the one who decides whether or not it's pointless, not you.
There are patients waiting for us. But Granny... Ow! Anyway, we don't have time for this.
Is there any way I could convince you? This is of the utmost importance.
Mr. Miles Edgeworth, Granny says she'll testify. So please try to finish this quickly. If we don't return soon, there will be people in terrible suffering.
Yet you were lollygagging about on the viewing platform earlier. I promise you this won't take long. Only if she tells me the truth, of course.
Error in the autopsy. There are no mistakes in Granny's autopsy report. I've been working hard with corpses longer than you've been alive. There's no way I'd make a mistake in writing that autopsy report. Ow! I got nothing to gain from falsifying the autopsy report, is what she says. See? Nothing strange at all. Yes, that's right, you know. There's no way she'd falsify it, you see. Under the name of the goddess of law, do you swear this testimony is the truth? Of course! Granny would never tell a lie.
We were asking Dr. Young. We do not need to hear from a third party.
I'm not a third party. I'm on Granny's side. If you raise an objection to my testimony, you best prepare yourself, you ex-prosecutor.
I will definitely expose the contradiction. The victim wore this raincoat after suffering a blow to the head, and yet there was not a single drop of blood on the front of the raincoat. Therefore, it is impossible for the head wound to have been post-mortem.
Well, that... Ah! I don't need you to tell me that. That's what I wrote down from the very beginning.
The autopsy report says the head wound was post-mortem. That's completely different.
Yeah. I relayed to Karen what to put down in the autopsy report. After that, it was none of my beeswax.
Relayed to Karen? Elaborate on that.
Karen, were you the one that was pressured?
I would like to verify once again what you saw when you examined the body.
Like we said... about that... She was done in by a thump to the noggin. Dr. Young, do you know when that happened? Before she died, of course. The wounds on her chest were post-mortem. That's what I relayed to Karen, so that's what should have been written in the report.
That's what you relayed. I don't need to see the truth.
Okay, so very fucking clearly that is not what the fucking report says.
Yeah.
Dr. Young, please confirm what this autopsy report says with your own eyes.
I'll read it out loud for... Ow! Ah! This autopsy report wasn't written by me.
What? What do you mean?
Oh!
I don't know! Ah! Oh. But Granny, I can't see that. Ow! Miss Jensen, if you are trying to keep the truth in the dark, then... In place of the goddess of law, I shall hear your confession.
Judge Courtney's talking with Dr. Young in private.
What? Is that true? Understood? I shall convey your words to everyone else, Dr. Young. I properly relayed the autopsy report orally to that child. It seems my granddaughter must have mucked it up when she was writing it down. Wow, she mimicked her voice perfectly.
Whoops. There was no need for her to go that far, though. In other words, the contents of the autopsy report have been falsified by your hand, Miss Jensen.
Sweat drops. With that, we've proven the wound on her head came first, followed by her chest wound. Miss Jensen, why did you falsify the autopsy report? Hold on a sec. She never said she falsified it, you know. She just made a teeny tiny mistake when she wrote it down. Postmortem and antemortem sound kind of similar, you know.
They are complete opposites. That is the very definition of falsification.
Also, Fishy, you
Yeah.
have the wrong icon up again.
What do you mean?
I wanted Missile to be my icon.
Oh yeah, that's right. Might be.
My frog.
There you go.
All powerful.
Yeah, I
Please,
just
please
100%
don't nerf.
forgot. Please don't nerf. I don't plan on
Don't
nerfing.
nerf.
Listen, I would never nerf. I would just throw you up against harder things. Okay, I
He
might
has like
nerf.
2 HP, he's fine.
Why would you...
Miss Jensen, why would you lie? Kay, ow! I want you to tell me, too, why you would do something like that? Granny, but
Because you falsified the autopsy report, Kay fell under suspicion. Tell me why you did it.
I can't say. I just can't say.
Not I don't want to say, but I can't say. Someone's got her metaphorical balls in a vice grip.
You're all a bunch of bullies, you know.
Cat
I'm
Pretty
your
sure it's
tongue.
you, motherfucker!
Sorry, what'd you say, Holly?
Cat got your tongue?
Yeah, indeed.
She's totally unrelated to this. I think we
Or
can forgive her.
arsonist in our case?
Arsonist, burn your tongue.
Yep.
That won't do. Aren't you the one with the most to lose if she testifies?
What are you saying? You see, as a former prosecutor, you'll have to speak a little more clearly, you know.
Very well. As you wish, I shall answer clearly. Miss Jensen played an essential role in this case. Miss Jensen falsified the autopsy report in order to assist the true culprit.
Ow! This girl is an accomplice. What's your basis for that claim?
It was impossible for a single person to commit this crime in the first place. The crime could not have been committed without at least 2 people, namely because...
Number of people wouldn't match. Number of people wouldn't match.
If the conductor was the culprit and one of the auction guests was the victim, it would contradict the witness's testimony that there were 11 people after the incident. All hail Hypnotoad. Yes, indeed.
What now? You got a problem with my testimony?
Not at all. Rather, it's because I believe your testimony that's why an accomplice must exist.
So you still won't admit your reasoning is wrong?
Up until now, we had not even considered the possibility of an accomplice. However, if there had been one, it changes the entire story completely, for like the 4th fucking time that I've said this in this single case. If the accomplice took the murder auction guest's place, then the number of people remains 11. There were 17 people on the island!
There was no 18th person!
But if we consider 18th person X, no!
That's what you're thinking.
But what if Grandpa was dead?
Well, you would know if he was dead if he had 6 toes. There is no war in Zengfa!
There is no war in Bossing Say.
Oh, that is clearly what she was referencing, yes. What do the Seahawks have to do with this? I have no idea! Oh, 12th man, that took a long stretch from me. But I understood at the end.
I don't understand.
I don't actually understand. I was honestly bluffing.
Isn't the Seahawks a fucking football team?
Yes, I think 12th
Seattle.
man is a football reference, maybe? That is the only thing. I have heard the phrase 12th man and football adjacent to each other in passing conversation. That's the only thing I know.
Look, when I hear people explain
The
shit
fans
about-
are called the 12th man. Okay.
I've never heard that.
I think
And also, my brain
in
just
football
kind of...
only 11 can be on the field. That makes sense.
My brain kind of just dials back to, like, a -1 when it comes to football talk for the most part.
No, I'd heard the term before, I just had no idea what it was, and I never gave it much thought. But yeah, okay, the fans are called the 12th man. That makes sense. Boot to the head.
Miss Jensen and the victim have similar physiques. If she wore the victim's mask, she could have easily taken her place. Miss Jensen, did you switch places with the victim?
I wouldn't.
Who was the conductor? In other words, tell me who the true culprit is.
I can't. I mean, that would also cause trouble for Granny. Ow! But, Granny... I will accept whatever wrongs you may have done. Just tell me everything.
Oh, she's going! Oh my god! Oh! There we go! As I thought, it appears you really were the accomplice.
Miss Jensen, why? Miss Jensen, would you please tell us? Yes. It's okay, Granny, I'm fine now. I switched places with the victim, Miss Crane.
So you admit to being the conductor's accomplice?
Yes. I helped out the conductor. I don't really know why, but for some reason, the conductor was expecting to be attacked by Miss Crane.
The conductor expected an attack from the victim.
They were so sure it was going to happen that they came up with a plan to counter it, a way to beat the victim at her own game. And that's when I was called in. I was told to wait in the storeroom before the auction began. Whoa there! You ain't fooling my eyes! If you were waiting in the storeroom, I reckon I would have bumped into you. After all, I've been up in that storeroom the entire auction. I'm telling the truth! I wonder about that, you know. Can we really believe a girl who'd falsify a report?
Can we really believe a man who would burn shit in a building?
Honestly.
Like, how has he not set off fire alarms?
Honestly. Real talk, yeah.
There should have been many places to hide in that storeroom.
And by all means, tell me. Oh, this is easy!
Place in the storeroom Miss Jensen hid.
Was inside the gaudy trunk.
Indeed.
She hid inside this costume trunk.
Costume trunk.
Oh, I was referring to the suitcase one.
Oh. Boot to his lighter hand. Now that you mention it, that box was already there before I snuck in. Figured I would hide there myself, but it was wrapped up nice and tight with a chain. It was locked too, so I had to give it up.
I suspect that's when you sneaked into the room Miss Jensen was already inside the trunk.
It's always the box. It's always the box. It was the box in Justice for All, and it's the box here.
What's in the box, Kingdom Hearts?
What's in the box? Wait, what? Is that a 3 reference? Because if so, say no more.
No, it's worse. It is.
Oh, I remember. Fucking.
The mobile game
fucking
has
mobile
more.
game. You fucking the master of master. Man, fuck Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is stupid. I love Kingdom Hearts.
I know, right? It's so stupid.
Fuck Kingdom
the game.
Hearts.
But at the
Fuck
same
that
time,
game. Fuck that story. Fuck it.
Nomura,
it.
what does it mean?
Fuck it.
Nomura, what does any of this mean?
Would have been bad if one of the guests from the auctions had opened the lid. After instructing me to hide inside, the conductor wrapped a chain around the costume trunk. I think they went downstairs using the lift shortly thereafter. It was right before the auction.
So then when the auction began, only you and Miss Hart were in the storeroom.
Yes, that should be right.
Culprit Jay?
The auction... Oh, Jill. The auction had been going on as usual, but when a certain participant made the winning bid, the conductor committed the crime.
Oh, whoops, that was Edgeworth. Miss Hart must have heard the altercation that occurred then.
You betcha! I was trembling under that statue the whole time. Behind, I mean.
Following the altercation, Jill Crane was murdered. After killing Jill Crane, the conductor carried her body to the costume trunk. And Miss Jensen, who had been hiding in the trunk, was made to take Miss Crane's place. The victim's body was placed inside the costume trunk. The conductor then took Miss Jensen, who had been made to look like Jill Crane, and returned to the auction hall as if nothing had happened. Was this roughly what happened in the storeroom during the incident?
But then Jill must have gotten back up. That's right. Pulling the old switcheroo with one of the auction guests. Ain't that impossible? The gal and the murder victim are two completely different people, you know. Don't you reckon one of the other participants would have noticed and caused a ruckus?
No, not at all. The reason they didn't
Not
use the
the
switch was
slightest.
because she stole the victim's clothes. From what I can tell, Miss Jensen, the victim, appeared to have a similar physique. Furthermore, there was a rule requiring a mask to be worn during the auction. If their clothes were the same, I doubt anyone would have noticed she was a different person.
Yes, I blended right in. I borrowed Miss Crane's clothes and... Oh! You mustn't embarrass the dead like that. I know. I also thought it was pretty heartless to leave her exposed like that. So when the conductor wasn't looking, I covered her up in the raincoat that was made for auction.
So she was the one who put the red raincoat on the victim. And then the auction resumed as if nothing had happened.
I reckon I took the picture of her in the red raincoat after. That'd make all the facts line up. After I took the photo, I went over to the lift to sneak a peek down below. Witnessed the 11 participants. I hightailed it back behind the statue.
Don't tell me you were hiding there the entire time until we found you.
No, that's... how should I put it?
What is it? Did something happen?
I didn't mention it before, but after that, I might have dozed off a little. To be more precise, I fainted. Something like that.
Something did happen.
Ain't no big deal. Kind of embarrassing to say, though. There was this huge thump sound all of a sudden. I was a little surprised by that. It was right after I'd just witnessed a murder, so I was shaking in my boots. Heart sort of tightened up. I was off to La La Land. When I woke up... But after the auction, all the masks were properly returned. So I reckon the participants had exited through the storeroom just like I'd on set.
Miss Jensen, what were your actions after the auction was resumed?
I took the victim place and participated in the auction. The conductor instructed me to win the bid for the costume trunk, because the body was inside it. It would have been bad if another auction guest won the bid for it.
You didn't realize the box was empty?
No, we only found out when I came back up to the storeroom to pay the bill. The conductor was with me and told me to go search for her immediately. And then, I found another girl collapsed in front of the ladder.
Okay.
Yeah, she probably fell down from the roof and lost consciousness. Maybe the victim left the hatch open when she went up to the rooftop.
I understand now. Kay was surprised at seeing the collapsed victim and didn't notice the open hatch. Must have missed her footing and fell down into the storeroom. Miss Hart, I've determined the sound that made you faint. It was likely the sound of Kay falling onto the storeroom floor.
That might have been it. Though I reckon it'd be kind of pathetic to faint over something like that.
Miss Jensen found the unconscious Kay. Miss Hart was also unconscious behind the statue. The situation's becoming clearer to me. Miss Jensen, continue your story.
After I found Kay and the victim, I put them both in the trunk. If the customers at the auction found out, there would have been a huge commotion.
Was this an order from the conductor as well?
Yes, it was. But since I secretly decided to put the raincoat on Miss Crane, I had to dispose of the raincoat without the conductor noticing.
So the conductor didn't anticipate the raincoat becoming another piece of evidence.
And finally, we dressed Miss Crane in a spare conductor's outfit.
I see. In doing so, you made the victim appear as if she was the conductor.
In the end, the auction ended without anyone noticing anything.
Miss Jensen, your crimes have become clear. If you know anything else, please hold nothing back.
I want to help you more, but that's all I know. If I had to say, there's just one thing that bothers me. When I took Miss Crane's place, I borrowed her clothes. but there was no way for me to borrow her hair. Ow! What kind of coroner's assistant going around stealing a corpse's hair?
I would think that robbing the deceased of their clothes would be questionable enough.
Both the color and length of our hair is different, so I was worried about how to disguise it. However, the conductor even had a wig prepared for me. In fact, he had 2 of them. Inside the costume trunk, there was both a straight wig and a wavy one.
2 wigs? Why were there 2?
Who knows? Maybe it was a precaution, in case the victim changed her hairstyle? I ended up using the straight wig to match Miss Crane's hair.
So that means the wavy wig was left unused. Is that really all you know?
Yes. Yep, that's really all I know.
That means you don't know who the conductor is.
I'm sorry, I only knew the person at the as the auction conductor. I never saw the person without a mask on. Conductors seemed to be on guard towards everybody.
At this rate...
Edgeworth, is that all you've got? Even if that little nurse is an accomplice, it changes absolutely nothing, you know. In the end, the true culprit is still Kay Faraday. All you did was add another criminal, you know. The rule of law cannot be overturned, at least not for your sake.
Is this as far as I go? Am I unable to save Kay?
I recognize that voice. It's that girl!
Francisca, why are you here?
Didn't I tell you, Miles Edgeworth? Wherever there is a case, I will follow. Prosecutor Von Karma, your hard work is most appreciated. However, don't get into the wrong idea. I only came here to find the truth behind what happened to Kay Faraday. I don't plan on forgiving you for abandoning the prosecutor's path.
I understand.
You should thank your former subordinates. He gave me some valuable information which may save Kay Faraday.
Detective Gumshoe.
Listen well, Miles Edgeworth. This will be the final piece of evidence. Jill Crane suffered the wound on her head first.
Who's gonna break it to her?
Will someone say something?
Well, I hate to say it, but we already proved that.
Already proved?
Yes, well, just a few minutes.
Ah! You should have told me sooner!
You're the one who barged in here and started talking.
Well then, does that mean you found out what the murder weapon was already?
Not yet.
Is that so? In that case, listen well. The victim was struck on the head with a blunt cylindrical object. It's the hammer, it's the fucking hammer, it's the auction hammer. It's the gavel!
The gavel.
It's the gavel! The wound on her chest was suffered post-mortem.
Cylindrical murder weapon.
It's the gavel, it's the gavel, it's the gavel. It's the gavel!
This report of yours, I trust it's accurate, of course.
These were the results of 2 independent autopsies carried out by 2 respected doctors.
That's reassuring, but it's too bad you have to investigate.
Interpol is after the black market auctions, and I'm the prosecutor in charge of the investigation. The victim participated in the auction. Therefore, it is only natural for me to investigate. I'm not a person to gavel at someone's feet. That was real. That was a real stretch. Especially now that she's been murdered. Well, at least thinking deserved what liked it.
I see. Clever girl, little Von Karma.
Then it has been settled. The victim died from blunt force trauma to the head. Oh my god, thinking.
Fine. Here we go. Here we go. Fuck it.
1, 2.
Unfortunately, the murder weapon is yet to be found. You're quite blunt. Oh boy.
Just knowing the shape of the murder weapon gives me an idea as to what it might be.
Hey, in my investigation, we didn't find other murder weapons, you know?
If you consider the conductor's possessions in the crime scene, the answer should be clear.
It's the fucking gavel. It's the gavel. Give me the gavel. Give me the gavel. Gavel, gavel, gavel.
Gavel.
It was something the conductor had in their hand during auction. namely an auction gavel.
An auction gavel? We didn't find anything like that. The culprit is the conductor. It's possible the gavel may be the murder weapon. However, that alone is not reason enough, wouldn't you agree?
Of course, I have proof to back it up.
Let's see, where's Lotta's testimony? Sound of the gavel was not heard afterwards. Kablamzo!
According to Miss Hart's testimony, after the victim had been murdered, it seems she suddenly stopped hearing the sound of the gavel. However, she had been able to hear it up until then. Why was that, you asked? It was because it had been used as the murder weapon and was covered in the victim's blood. It became necessary to dispose of it. Isn't that right, Blaze de Best?
Did you burn it? I'll have a search for the murder weapon performed immediately. Well, good luck with that, you know. You gotta work as hard as you can while you're young, you see.
He's completely confident we won't find it. Maybe because
He
he
burned it.
He burned it.
Well, as the search for the murder weapon continues, I hereby call for a brief recess.
This really is the closest we've come to being back in the courtroom proper, eh?
His ass!
That said, I am going to hit the bathroom, so I will be right back.
I'm gonna go get some water.
And I'm back. Just as soon as I get my cords untwisted. The Grand Tower. Everyone is harumphing and harumphing. For 2 days, your father hid that gavel up his ass. Was that a fucking... That's a Pulp Fiction reference, isn't it? It's just a massive stick he had. Maybe the stick was the gavel. He just takes it out whenever auction happens.
Order in the court. Prosecutor Von Karma, your report, please. I have bad news. We searched every inch of the Grand Tower, but the auction gavel was nowhere to be found. That is most unfortunate. It seems I am left with no choice but to pronounce a verdict. Well, sure seems that way, you know. Normally, you wouldn't commit a blunder like leaving behind a murder weapon, you know. Best criminals would never do something like that, you see.
I don't have enough information. This is as far as I go.
Yes, it's a shame, you know. It can't be helped. It takes me back, you know. All those defendants who came to me asking for a plea bargain. They trusted me, told me every one of their dirty little secrets. And when it came time for the trial, I'd get them sentenced to life in prison. They were all completely dumbstruck, you know. Each and every one of them. Oh, I wish you all could have seen it, you know. The stupid look on their faces. I shall hereby announce my verdict. Please humbly accept the words of the law.
There's nothing more I can do. This, both Kay and I are...
If only we had some evidence. I never thought it would be I would be passing judgment on you like this.
Is this the end?
The defendant, Blaise de Best, I hereby indict you.
What? Oh! Oh, the heel face turn! Full in! Holy shit!
What's gotten into you all of a sudden? I have here documents regarding a certain case, the IS-7 incident, a case that happened 18 years ago.
Documents, you say? Why would you suddenly... Wait, you don't mean... On the day of the crime, the record of your key card was...
Came into the room to fetch these documents, of course. Although when I entered the meeting room, it seemed it was before the black market auction had begun. At first, I told you that I came to gather documents about you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. At that time, I simply could not tell you the truth.
Yo, if she's actually Interpol all this time, I'm taking a fucking shot.
Without any basis, this is slander! That was a wonderful remark, Sebastian. Huh? Really? Of course there's basis. During the case 18 years ago, Prosecutor Manfred von Karma fabricated information regarding the body.
It's because the body of the sculptor Isaac Dover had been stolen.
Papa fabricates his information about the body? What do you mean? Detective Lacer, who handled the initial investigation, reported the body had gone missing. However, in order to deceive Prosecutor von Karma, there's a person who purposefully did not report to him that the body had disappeared.
What? What did you say?
That person would not forgive those who defied him, nor would he allow others to hold power. He would use any means necessary in order to bend others to his will. And then, also 18 years ago, Director Young was ordered by a certain individual to write a fake autopsy report.
Dr. Young was the one who wrote the autopsy report for the IS-7 incident?
Please wait, Granny didn't do anything wrong. She was ordered by that person. She had no choice but to obey.
That person?
That person was the chief prosecutor at the time.
The chief prosecutor 18 years ago? You don't mean...
The chief prosecutor who gave Papa his first penalty. It was none other than you, Blaise de Best. Wait, what? I thought it was Edgeworth who gave him the first penalty. That might have just been confusing wording. I'll blaze past it. I did that by accident, but I'm gonna drink anyways. What are you saying? Pops would never do so. Kill me. Sebastian, we do not need your opinion right now. Blaise de Best, do you have a rebuttal? Edgeworth making it a requirement by presenting. I'll go past it. It's fine. Fabricating stuff about the body. Von Karma did all that on his own, you know. Falsifying the autopsy report. Young, you'd actually do something like that. Man, you really did some terrible things behind my back, you know.
Seeing as how all the parties concerned are here today, we should ask them directly.
Please wait. Granny is... Oh! Granny, I'm sorry. I knew. That's why I... Yep. Because if I didn't, he said he would expose you. If I didn't assist in the crime, Granny would be prosecuted. That's what that man, the conductor, told me.
So Miss Jensen was being threatened. It was the conductor who threatened you, Blaise de Best?
That... I don't know. The person who threatened me was the auction conductor. They do have similar physiques, but I never saw the person's face.
Any trivial thing is fine, a characteristic that could be a clue.
That's right. The conductor mask. It exposed just a tiny part of his face. There was a tattoo there, I'm sure of it.
A tattoo, you say?
Objection.
I
really have no idea what you're talking about, you know. As you can see, there are clearly no tattoos on my face, you see. So that person doesn't match me at all, you know.
Take off your goggles. Take off your goggles. Take off your goggles, bitch.
You have incurred the wrath of the goddess of law. I suggest you watch what you say.
Hasn't he incurred your own wrath rather than the wrath of the goddess of law?
Jill Crane had been pursuing you, just as I have. And I will not let her death be in vain. Crane was... You say she was pursuing me? My, I didn't really know her that well, you know. I don't mind girls chasing after me, you know. But I don't recall her ever falling for me, you see. What a fucking scum. You didn't know her well.
That is a testimony we haven't heard up until now.
Before the eyes of the goddess of law, you shall give us an official testimony. I see. Everyone's bullying me. If you're gonna do that far, that's fine. I'll just have to make you disappear.
Hello.
Yo, what's up? Courtney's on our side now.
I have water.
Cool. Yo, Nem, what's your thought?
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I shall cooperate with you as well. If we let this opportunity slip by, I doubt we will ever get him to stand in court again. Please, do not let this chance go to waste.
Yes. I promise I'll live up to your expectations.
Now then, Blaise de Best, you shall testify regarding the victim. The victim, Jill Crane, was a member of the Prosecutorial Investigation Committee, you see.
There were 2 wigs. One of them was in case it was Courtney coming for him, wasn't it? Oh shit, Nem, is that the thought you had? Because
his wig.
Jill and Courtney were actually all along people coming for him. One was if it was Jill, the other one was Courtney. Nem, nice thinking. Nice thinking.
Snatch his wig.
Snatch his wig.
Personally, I didn't really know her that well, you know. It's not like I had a motive to murder her, you know. I had no idea why she was pursuing me, you see.
What
You
you
know.
what you got, Maddie? What you got, Maddie?
You know.
You intend to deny this to the bitter end, don't you?
Of course he does! There's no way Pops can be the criminal! I mean, he's my Pops, you know. He's the very best, like
no one ever was. He's the very best, like no one ever was.
To catch them is his real test.
To train them in his cause.
Or is it?
I'm really eyeing that bottle again. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I can't do this. I can't keep getting away with this.
Doing this.
What if he's wearing the wig as a beard to hide the tattoo? Ooh, there's an idea. It depends on what the... Yeah, okay. Do I have a... what was that stored in the conductor's clothes? A facial tattoo. Yeah, okay, that might be a possibility. Let's check out these docs. Right.
Snatch his
Right.
wig. Snatch his wig.
Yeah. If this is actually Snatch His wig, I will drink. Like, if that turns out to be the case, I will absolutely shoot that shit up, because that would be amazing.
Sebastian, if you're gonna stick up for me, be sure to have a clear basis, you know. Alright, I got it. I'll clear you of these false accusations, Pops. I believe in you. We won't lose to someone like Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, you really are pure, you know. That person, he really loves his father, doesn't he? However, one must be able to accept their mistakes of their father. No matter how much they may look up to him. Each person must...
Oh, that means a lot coming from Francisca, of all people. Shit!
Each person must atone for their crimes, no matter who they are.
This is going to be hard for Sebastian, but I simply cannot overlook his father's crimes.
Alright.
Let's do this.
Victim Jill Crane was a member of the prosecutorial investigation.
She was a member of the PIC. You should have been familiar with her.
Well, I knew her face, but that's about it, you know. It's not like we met each other on a regular basis, you see. Personally, I didn't even know that.
So you're saying you weren't very familiar with the victim?
That's right, I didn't even know about the burn mark or Crane's hand, you see.
You didn't know about the burn mark?
Well, you see, even if I'd gotten close to her, she would have disappeared soon. It's pain to remember someone, you know, when they're just gonna disappear, you see.
Pursuit wanting. Nice! Very good.
In other words, anyone who defies him disappears. I'd like you to add that statement about the victim's burn to your testimony.
You gave it to her, didn't you?
Ah, okay. Nice. That's this game's pursuit. Thank you for the clarification. I didn't have that context.
Really are persistent, you know. Do you really think I would pay attention to every little wound on a woman's hand?
I would think the burn mark on the victim's hand would be hard to miss.
Now that you mention it, Jill Crane would regularly wear gloves. I too did not know about the burn until the incident occurred.
Jill Crane regularly wore gloves.
I thought so. She's probably trying to hide the burn mark, you see. I understand how sensitive a woman can be about these things, you know.
I would like you to add your so-called sensitive understanding of a woman to your testimony.
I have a thing in mind. I'm pretty sure this is where the blood from the ladder comes in.
These gloves are practically her trademark, you see.
Also, possibly the raincoat, because that has her fingerprints on it.
Wonder if that girl over there is also hiding something under her bandages.
Huh? I'm not hiding anything.
I mean, she's injured.
I think you are, you know. You're hiding the face of a criminal.
Alright, thinking. Have a good night.
Night.
His words should be directed at someone like you. I'll expose here and now the face of a true criminal.
How amusing. Go ahead and try if you think you can.
So Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. It's interesting. I should look at the evidence one more time.
Alright. So, anything with her fingerprints on it may or may not be a thing to happen. Cheap plastic, leather, ticket stub, flower,
What was your nerd messaging me?
candelabra. That's the victim's chest wound. No prints on it though. Just post-mortem. Alright. Why didn't she have... His clothes. His facial tattoo. Not his testimony. Stuffed animal. Gotcha.
Jill Crane regularly wore gloves. If that's true, then it creates a huge contradiction.
Oh, a huge contradiction, you say?
I would like you to listen to the voices recorded on this stuffed animal one more time.
I knew you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. Silence, huh? Been waiting for my chance to get revenge all this time.
We were under the impression that this was the moment where the victim was murdered. I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. We thought this statement was said by the culprit.
Isn't that fine? What's the problem, you know?
There's a huge problem with that. If the victim had been wearing gloves from the start, it would have been impossible to see the burn on her hand.
Objection. Gloves come off very easily, you know. She could have just taken them off during the auction.
That's not true. Miss Crane had been wearing her gloves when I took her place.
She must have been wearing them before she was murdered.
Why have
say?
you handed me dog?
Don't you understand the position you're in? I'm not scared anymore. I have Granny here with me. Blaze, the day of reckoning's finally come. Somehow, seems like you all want to disappear. Ah!
The only one who will be disappearing here is you, Blaze Best.
Hey! How dare you say that to Pops? Does it really matter if the burn mark is visible or not?
It certainly does matter. If the burn mark was visible, then we'd have a complete turnabout of the situation.
What are you saying? The victim's burn mark wasn't visible. What does that tell you?
That the culprit also had a burn mark?
That's what I'm thinking. So your bird mark
They
had to
say
be
find
visible.
out?
Yeah. You were right.
Sebastian, turn your way of thinking around. If the victim was wearing gloves, then her burn mark could not have been seen. In that case, whose burn mark was seen?
Someone else's burn mark.
Precisely. The culprit must have had a burn mark as well. In other words, I knew who you were right away. You can't hide that burn from me. The person who said this was not the culprit, but the victim.
What?
Dun dun dun.
Sebastian, could you please step aside? Edgeworth,
I
all
have
your
the
reasoning
sleepy
till
puppy
now
in
was
my
just a
arms.
figment of your imagination, you know? The culprit had a burn mark. Where was it, you know? You can't answer that. Your logic doesn't hold up, you know?
Where was the culprit's burn mark?
I wonder where the burn mark could have been. During the auction, wasn't everyone wearing a disguise?
Indeed. During the auction, everyone should have been dressed in a particular way. If the burn mark was still visible under those conditions,
Why don't you show us?
Okay, so is the idea that it was behind his face? Okay.
It wasn't a tattoo, it was a burn mark.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe that would do it then. Got it. You were right.
Yeah.
it was what the conductor was wearing during the auction. In other words, the outfit you were wearing at the time.
Ha! What can you figure out from the clothes alone?
The conductor had been wearing a white suit, white gloves, and a mask. His attire had covered up most of his skin. However, according to Miss Jensen's testimony, the conductor mask exposed a small part of his face. In addition, while she thought there had been a tattoo there, it's possible she simply mistook the burn mark for a tattoo.
Huh. A burn mark on his face? That's all very scintillating, but I'm afraid you're getting excited over nothing, you know. None of the PIC members have any burn marks on their faces, you see. Naturally, that includes me as well, you know. Huh? Pops, but... Sebastian, would you please be quiet? If you're an idiot, then act like one you know.
Normally, Sebastian's a nuisance to everyone around him. This time, I owe him my gratitude. That reaction from Blaze's own son, it reveals the truth more clearly than anything else. Thanks to him, I'm confident my reasoning is correct. I know who that unidentified piece of evidence belongs to.
I wonder what's wrong with that prosecutor.
Usually Sebastian's slower to arrive at the truth than anyone else. However, this time he probably figured it out. His own father is a criminal.
Since he knows the truth, he's in pain, isn't he? If he didn't know the truth, he could have remained blissfully in his ignorance.
Okay, we are here in order to pursue the truth. Doesn't matter what path my reasoning takes, the important thing is to arrive at it. Once before, when I lost my faith in my reasoning, you said that to me and showed me the way. This time, I'll show you the truth. You are innocent.
I also want to know the truth. Mr. Edgeworth, please tell me.
That's the spirit.
It's impossible, you know, for all of you. I mean, why could I just possibly have a burn mark? It's nowhere to be found, you see. There's no evidence to prove I'm the culprit, you know.
Snatch
That's
his
right!
wig.
There's no contradiction
Snatch
at
his
all!
wig.
There's no way there could be a contradiction! Not for my pops!
Sebastian,
Snatch his
I
wig.
understand why you don't want to admit it. However, if you avert your eyes from the truth, you'll regret it forever.
Pops, what should I do?
Snatch his wig.
I
Snatch
really want
his
that.
wig.
Why, you're such an idiot, you know. Sebastian, if you really want to save me, you'll have to try a little bit harder, you see. Gotta use your head, you know. Honestly, you really are a useless idiot. No way. But I tried real hard. I tried my best, Pops. I went to the school you told me to go to, reached the top of the class just like you told me to. Just look at this jacket. Only someone who graduates at the top of his class gets to wear it. I did everything you told me to. That's how I got to be the best at the academy. I even won all those awards just so I could be like you, Pops.
Snatch his wig. Snatch his wig.
You really are such an idiot, you know. You know those gold stars you got on your tests? I made the teachers give them to you. Every speech and debate contest, all the judges were my friends. You know, Sebastian, if you weren't even able to notice something like that, you're really not worthy of being called my son, don't you think?
Rip his wig off, Sebastian. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Ah, even my son has disappeared. Oh my, it's enough to make me cry, you know.
I can't believe this game got me to feel bad for that little shit. I can't believe this game got me to feel fucking terrible for that little shit. I'm gonna kill this guy.
Do it.
He's
Snatch
trying his
his
best
wig.
for me, and yet he was
Snatch
totally
his
useless, you know.
You're truly a despicable person. As the chairman of the PIC and as a father.
Even I feel sorry for that foolish prosecutor. Poor Mr. Prosecutor. Blaze the best. Just what do you think of your own son? He's just a useless pawn, you see. Well, now, maybe you should look in the mirror before you criticize me, you know. I mean, even you. You also used Sebastian to get close to me, didn't you? I cannot deny that. However, he's not a mere pawn. He always tries to do his very best, even if the results aren't up to par. I've seen just how hard he tries, and yet you refuse to acknowledge it. That kid's no good, you see, no matter what he does or is told to. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I shall lead this offering of the Goddess of Law to you. Deliver her divine judgment against Blaze the Best.
Yes, that was my intention from the beginning. If there was a burn mark on the conductor's face, then Blaze the Best must be hiding it. What was he wearing during the auction? That is the key to revealing the truth.
Well then, allow me to hear your answer. Show me the piece of evidence that proves the culprit had a burn mark on his face. Do I have the wig with me at all? Karen's testimony. For some reason there was both a straight and a wavy one. Alright. If this turns out to be the case, Ollie, I fucking drink. I think you're right. I think we're about to snatch this man's wig. I'm pouring. It's not even official yet, but I'm pouring.
If you would recall Mr. Jensen's testimony,
Snap
there is
his
still one
wig.
point that remains unexplained. 2 types of wigs have been prepared.
I will drink on wig snatch.
We
It's
got
happening.
Maddie. We gotta fucking clip it if it's a wig.
It's happening. Everyone, thank you
We
so
gotta
much.
clip the
This
wig
has been
snatch.
the hardest teamwork. You called it, Ollie called it. Let's do this shit.
Snatch his wig.
need a wavy wig.
Snatch his wig.
What are you talking about? Yes, I believe we were all correct. I think this was a collaborative effort. And
Is something Miss Jensen found when she switched the places with the victim.
what does something like that have to do with the burn?
Inside the costume trunk, Miss Jensen witnessed 2 wigs. One of them had been used by Miss Jensen to make her look like the victim. Now then, just what was the other wig used for?
Doesn't seem like it was a spare wig.
There's no need to overthink it. Just compare the attire of the true culprit, the conductor, with that of Blaze the Best.
Don't stare at me like that.
Don't you think there's just one spot where there's a huge contradiction? Specifically, around his face.
So that's not a wig at all?
Indeed, it was no wig. Blaze the Best, it was your fake beard. Close enough! I'm still drinking!
This is a real...
His wig.
It's just a bottom half wig.
Don't tease me like that, Edgeworth.
You can buy fake beards at wig stores.
Your son must have realized the truth before everyone else. That's why he was trying so desperately to protect you. You were also worried he would tell the truth. Isn't that why you drove your son away from here? Because he knew his father was hiding a burn mark under a fake beard. Blaze the Best. How about you remove that fake beard of yours? Oh, that's a volcano! Oh, oh, it's all! I'm drinking. I'm fucking drinking. That wig has been snatched by the clutches of the Blaze.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, justice has been served before the goddess of the law. For that I give you my thanks.
I should be the one thanking you.
Blaze the Best, I hereby announce my verdict. You shall be taken into custody for the murder of Jill Crane.
Holy shit.
Mr. Edgeworth, thank you very much.
That
So
must have
happy
been
to
like a
be
real
with you.
human hair wig. Ooh, that's
Right.
not cheap. Because if it was a plastic wig, one, it would have been shiny.
Yeah,
and two,
this
it
shit's
would've
all
just
synthetic
melted.
for the record. I got this for like 20 bucks.
Yeah, it would have melted if it was synthetic.
Yeah.
There's no need to thank me. As a prosecutor. No. As a friend. I simply wanted to save you.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, I bring good tidings. It seems that former Chairman DeBest has been safely detained in the prison. Oh dear, I believe I have had a shot too many. No, not really. But just enough to get my words mixed up a teensy bits. Nothing serious. However, the search for the murder weapon, the auction gavel, continues. Blaze DeBest is
burned
a
it.
shrewd man. There's a good chance he already disposed of it. There is also one piece of testimony that concerns me. Blaze DeBest mentioned the only thing he did not fake were the letters.
What do you mean?
First, he found this letter in Jill Crane's clothes. Then, he also found this letter on Kay, who was unconscious in the storeroom. The contents of the letter seem to suggest that the two had been corresponding with each other. Which is why Blaze DeBest assumed the two were working together.
Ridiculous. It can't be right.
After reading the two letters, he decided to pin the crime on Kay Faraday. In order to cast suspicion on her, he planted one of the letters in a noticeable spot. The deceased Jill Crane's left breast pocket.
Isn't that just an excuse?
Yes, that is what I thought as well. It may have simply been a last-ditch effort to save himself. However, before the stern eyes of the goddess of the law, these are all trivial matters. His crime shall certainly not go unpunished. With this, I have finally fulfilled one of my long-standing missions.
Judge Courtney, will you tell me what you know? Why did Blaze DeBest murder Jill Crane? And what lies hidden beneath this case?
Yes, I don't mind. You have the right to know everything. Long ago, Jill Crane was in love with a cameraman. That man was pursuing the black market auction as a journalist. And then, before he could reach the truth, he was erased. The feelings and items Miss Crane inherited from her beloved brought her to the auction. She had come to exact revenge on the conductor, Blaze. Although in the end, she was the one who was murdered instead.
I see. So that's what happened.
While the goddess of law cannot condone her actions, You've succeeded in her goal of bringing Blaze to Best's crimes to light.
So Judge Courtney's goal was to expose Blaze to Best and reveal the dark secret of the PIC.
By the way, what happened to the young prosecutor? We have been unable to contact him for some time now. Do you have any idea where he might be? I had not been truly working for him, so... I see. I feel very sorry for him. What you should be sorry for is the fact that he was kept in the dark until now. No matter how cruel reality is, he will have to accept it. If he can't, he won't be able to walk his own path in life. Ever.
A father's influence is not something easily erased. However, I'm sure he'll be able to change from here on out.
Yes, that's right. Surely it must be right. Will I too be able to walk my own path? Kay, is your body alright? Yes, thanks to you. I'm so sorry, even though you're my patient. You ended up getting suspected because of me. Ow! You can't just take care of the patient's body, you gotta take care of the heart too. That's my granny. Kay, how are your memories? I feel like I'm on the verge of remembering something. Well then, I shall take my leave here. I'll be presiding over the Patricia Rowland's trial.
That would be the trial for the murder of Horace Knightley. Who's in charge of the defense?
Miss Crane was supposed to be her defense attorney, but now that she has passed away, we're currently arranging for a replacement defense attorney.
Jill Crane in charge of Patricia Rowland's defense?
I'll also have to get in contact with Sebastian quickly, since the prosecutor in charge. Well then... Oh! Please wait. What about Mr. Edgeworth's prosecutorial badge? What'll happen to his badge? With the chairman arrested, the PIC is no longer functional, so I cannot answer that question easily. Perhaps one could say, only the goddess of law knows. But that's...
I wonder if Kay had it.
You don't need to worry about me. This is the path that I have chosen.
It would be pretty funny if that was the case.
It seems you have no plans to change it either.
Of course not. I choose this path to seek the truth.
With the departure of Blaze de Best, the law is once again returned to our hands. If you truly desire to continue the prosecutor's path, I am willing to assist you in reclaiming your badge.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I must decline. I did not relinquish my badge with half-hearted feelings.
I see.
Not necessarily, Nem. Time can pass, shit can change.
It seems our paths of law will continue to encounter to each other.
Until our paths cross once again, I shall have you hold on to that badge.
That was my intention from the start. However, on occasion, the goddess of law is quite generous. Please return this notebook to its proper owner.
Kay's promise notebook.
It seems this was scheduled to be put up for bidding at the black market auction. The name Kay is written on the notebook. It seems Blaze de Best quickly realized this belonged to the girl, since the letter he found also contained the same name.
You speak as if you really did not know about the letters. Are you saying Blaze really didn't prepare the letters himself?
Yes, that man said so himself. Kay Faraday's goal was to steal back the notebook. Jill Crane's goal was to get revenge. In order to achieve their goals, the two teamed up to infiltrate the auction. Or so he says.
Unfortunately, this is all Blaze's misunderstanding. It's purely a coincidence. If the attorney from the PIC and Kay really were acquaintances, it would be strange she never mentioned it to me, considering her personality.
You really do trust her, don't you? In the end, the notebook was used as another red herring, but it's something that is very important to that girl, isn't it? I'll make a special exception and return it. I'm sure that's what the goddess of law desires.
That's, I appreciate it.
I shall pray that she recovers her lost memories. Is something wrong?
Kay. I'm returning something very important to you.
Oh. This is... Always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Never crying for us strangers. Oh shit. Daddy, I wrote them all down. I'll be sure to follow all of our promises and become a hero just like you. There's one more. Forgot to write down the most important one. Always try your hardest to learn things you don't understand. I'll be sure to remember. Never ever forget them. Always try your hardest to learn things you don't understand. That's right.
Oh, here it comes. She's back.
Hey, you remembered.
It's kind of embarrassing, though. Thank you so much. It's all thanks to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Even when I lost my memories, you're still trying to save me, right?
Seems you're back to normal.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
You're crying. So am I.
Okay, you got better. Your health comes first. Now you can relax. Just make sure you don't run off and lose all your memories again. Miss Jensen, Dr. Young, thanks for worrying about me. Hey, if you're feeling all better, how about changing back into your own clothes?
I washed them for you so they're nice and clean.
Wasn't Detective Gumshoe holding on to them?
He said forensics was done with them, so he gave them back to me.
Have they revealed the results of the analysis yet?
To be honest, I actually didn't think to ask. Now, more importantly, let's get you hurried up and changed.
Still, isn't it better if we do not remove her bandages?
She'll be fine now. Kay just bumped her head. She didn't really have any other major injuries.
Why was she so heavily bandaged?
Better safe than sorry. Pound of prevention's worth an ounce of cure. That's my motto.
Troublesome motto.
Come on, Kay, let's get you dressed up over there.
So she's the one that bandaged her.
Yup.
Now this is definitely what a great thief should look like. A smile certainly suits you best. In the past, and now as well. Miss Von Karma, thank you for coming too. I only came back because Scruffy asked me to. That's Scruffy. Also wanted to see your energetic self again. Gummy! What happened to Gummy? Who knows? Maybe he was disgusted with the man willing to throw away his prosecutor's badge.
Detective Gumshoe.
I must be going soon. I will be taking these ladies in for questioning. What's gonna happen to the two of them? One aided in the murder of an attorney, the other forged an autopsy report 18 years ago. These crimes definitely won't disappear. Of course, I will mention in the court they were being blackmailed by Blaze. We'll be just fine, as long as Granny's by my side, we're invincible. Well then, take care.
Now then, Kay. Sorry to ask so soon right after you regained your memories, but I have some questions.
Sure, ask me anything you want.
What were you doing on the day you lost your memories?
On that day, I was asked to come to Gourd Lake. I don't know who called me there, though.
For glory.
Yeah, Francisca's definitely mellowed out. She's still got a bit of it on her, but she definitely is mellowed out.
As I was watching Moon at the Gourd Lake, a person in a red raincoat approached me. All of a sudden, he used some kind of drug to knock me out.
What? What is she saying? The place where Kay saw the moon was at Gourd Lake?
When I woke up, it seems I somehow ended on the roof of the Grand Tower. My mind was still in a daze, so I stumbled around for a bit. That's when I found the person in the red raincoat collapsed. Startled, and when I stepped back in panic, I fell from a high place and got knocked out cold again. When I woke up, my memories were gone. Person in the red raincoat, who exactly was that person? Yeah, I was certain I saw them walking in midair. It's all starting to make my head hurt.
Please calm down. You're just a little confused because you've only recently gotten your memories back. Most likely this is the main cause of your confused memories.
Memories in two places?
This is probably the main cause of your confused memories. You saw the moon at both Gourd Lake Park and the Grand Tower rooftop, which led you to confuse the two places.
Huh? But aren't those totally different? Even when I was in a daze, you really think I get them confused?
Most likely there was something in the Grand Tower which led to your confusion.
The stand, maybe?
Save and find out.
Yep, saving.
Grand Tower Rooftop and Gourd Lake have 2 points in common. They both have a cherry tree and a food stall.
Oh, now that you mention it.
Your memories were confused because you've been in 2 similar locations.
I figure probably the cherry tree would have done it too.
The person you first saw could not have been walking in midair. They were simply walking on the ground at Gourd Lake Park. You must have gotten that scene confused with the Grand Tower rooftop.
So that's what happened. How dare they steal the memories of a great thief? They'll pay for this.
Nevertheless, I wonder who the person that assaulted Kay was. The person in the red raincoat who appeared at Gourd Lake.
Beep, 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 beep.
What's that noise?
Sounds like it's coming from the storeroom. Mr. Edgeworth, let's go check it out. What's this? My shutterbug sense is tingling. I smell me another scoop.
You're still here?
Forgot about her.
I didn't. I was kind of wondering what she was still doing there.
Yeah. I was saying he forgot about her.
Yeah.
Mr. Edgeworth, this walkie-talkie thing's beeping.
Transceiver. Why do I feel like I've seen it somewhere before?
It's still beeping, Mr. Edgeworth.
Not particularly familiar with this sort of device.
Come on, we have to answer it. Here goes. Hello, Edgeworth speaking.
Oops. I think my controller might have shorted out. Alright, I'm going mouse.
Oh, dear.
Okay, please don't just answer it on your own.
Speaking with Mr. Miles Edgeworth, I presume?
This voice is... Shelley the Killer.
I congratulate you on resolving this case, however. Can you truly say in good conscience it's been resolved? Are you aware of the mastermind pulling the strings behind this incident?
You? What do you know about the incident?
That's not important right now, wouldn't you agree? Right now, we're discussing the mastermind behind the case.
I had an inkling that such a person existed even before you said anything. After all, there was evidence to suggest someone had used Kay to disrupt the investigation.
Huh? There was... So, who's the mastermind?
I would like to hear your thoughts on the matter. Would you kindly show me the evidence that indicates the existence of a mastermind?
What's something that hasn't gotten explained? The corsage, maybe? No. The badge?
The fact that how she got there, maybe?
How do I say that, though?
Present her banged up picture? I don't know.
This wasn't it.
Anything left unexplained by the evidence? Her lost memories, or perhaps the Grand Tower itself. I'll go for her memories first. No. Alright, I'll go for the Grand Tower pamphlet then. Maybe the letters? What she was trying to steal?
Yeah. That would make sense.
Oh, it was the other letter. No, Maddie, you were right.
It was the letter K allegedly sent to the victim.
Come to think of it, I don't remember writing that letter at all.
Who could have prepared this letter? I too quite curious to know.
So you're not the one who wrote the
Why
letter?
is the killer Sean Connery?
I was trying to go for, like, Bruce Wayne's butler, where he's like,
Master Wayne.
Oh,
But
I
fuck
got
it.
Sean Connery.
fuck it, he's a blend between that and Sean Connery now.
What could I possibly gain from showing such an act? Is it not necessary for you to stand in court in order to make the truth clear? What can you possibly do now that your badge has been taken from you? I look forward to finding out from the shadows.
This man, how does he know that?
Do we have an understanding? Please ensure you do not betray my trust. Now, if you'll excuse me, Master Wayne.
So the case wasn't solved yet. What did he mean by that? And why would Mr. the Killer even bother telling us that? Ugh, nothing makes sense anymore.
This case has not reached its true conclusion yet. However, although I've lost my prosecutor's badge, who I am still has not changed. While I don't know where this may lead me, I shall reveal the truth. I swear it.
Okay. The Grand Turnabout. This looks to be the last chapter. I realize it's kind of early, but I think I'm gonna call it here.
Fair.
Just because it seems to be a nice place to. Ooh, I noticed DeBest's silhouette here. I hope he perhaps makes a comeback in a better way than usual. As per usual, you'll find my stream Twitter there. It'll give you what's on the docket, what's on the immediate docket, if there's any schedule changes, if I have to take a day off, and whenever I go live. I am currently heavily considering and will probably instate Sundays as regularly my day off. That way I can either, because I notice, like on the one hand, I have a D&D thing that I do that sometimes goes either Sunday or Monday, so that'd be cool. And if that's
I
not
thought it was Monday or Tuesday.
Was it Monday or Tuesday? Shit. Well, either way, there's also the other thing in which Sunday is also Maddie's day off, so we can get together then and do stuff just to chill. And I've been kind of concerned with how the state of me has been in the past week. I've collapsed like twice on stream. It's not great. I'm not even playing Skyward Sword. So I'm gonna
Where
try.
are you?
I'm gonna try instating Sunday as my day off.
Alright.
For future reference. I shouldn't need more than one, considering I'm only doing 4 hours a day. But if I do end up needing more than one, if improvement hasn't shown, then I'll go ahead and maybe lopping another one on there. But yeah, that's where we're at. And also I'm just kind of taking it easy with myself now, kind of ending a little earlier if it seems right like this. Like, it seems right to end right here just because it's a new episode. I get to come back tomorrow with a fresh new episode to go into. And yeah, so that will be the haps. Thank you all for viewing. Ollie, say goodnight, stream.